Disclaimer. We are regular guys who love to talk Bone Thugs and Harmony. We do not represent Bone Thugs or any Bone affiliate. We are also not Bone Thugs experts. The views and information you hear in this podcast may be based on personal opinion. Please feel free to leave corrections and clarifying information in the comments. And enjoy. What's up, y'all? It's Cecil West, Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com, back again with the one and only.
The laid back and subdued, psych, the crazy John Lippy.
And it wouldn't be a Beyond the Harmony Live, Thug Thursday, whatever you call it, without...
I am Matthew Weaver.
And you know what it is. It's Beyond the Harmony Live. We're sorry about the delay. We've been working out the kinks, doing the damn thing, but we are here. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat already. What's happening? Justin Mayo, Cody Hillier's out there. I see all kinds of people. Joseph Tex in there. What's happening to everybody? Joe Cal out in there. We got our 99th degree members in here. Outstanding. What's up, boys?
Well, hey, let me just say that somebody in the comments, I can't remember, but when we were doing the Layzie Bone live reviewing his album, the new one, somebody said, "Hey, John, you're going to love the Eyes on the Prize." And I was like, why? And they said it a couple of times. And I'm like, I wonder why they think that. Anyway, I was driving back a long car ride. I heard the album and, bro, the bass. They know I love the bass. They know I want the quake. If you're a bass aficionado the way John Lippy is, if it was HC The Chemist that put that bass in there, he knew what he was doing. The whole album, front to back, is. In fact, I lost track of listening to the raps because I was just so focused on the bass. So tons of bass on Eyes on the Prize. If you like bass, check that out. And I just want to say, while I'm on the topic of bass, I've said this many times before, but after I heard the album, I had to listen to my favorite bass track of all time. It's Trey the Truth featuring Crazy Bone, Stay Trill. It's like a remake of Mr. Bill Collector. If you've never heard that song in a car with good speakers, preferably an amp, listen to that track. The bass on that is phenomenal. And then the other bass track to really test the speaker set is Fortune Force Field by Tech Nine.
I love that.
The bass on that is Retard City, bro. But my favorite, the tastiest bass is Stay Trill. But HC and Layzie Bone put the bass on that Eyes on the Prize, and I'm very much appreciative of that. So thanks for the recommendation. Whoever recommended that, you know the way to my heart. That is the way. Just throw some bass on your album. It doesn't matter how bad. Well, not that the Layzie raps were good, but I'm just saying I got some albums that the rappers aren't that good, but the bass is good. So, for instance, I'll just drop one more on you. If you never heard Miami Boys Gangsta Bass, I love the bass on that track. So, anyway, I'll pass it on to you guys.
I just want to let everybody know we're live on all the platforms. Obviously, YouTube, number one, that's our home. We are also live on Facebook. Shout out to Facebook. I see one person over on our Twitch, and we are live on Instagram. If you don't follow us on these other platforms yet, please help us get those follows up. It helps so much. If you have Twitch, go over, follow us on Twitch. If you have Facebook. Make sure you're following us there. We just got on TikTok. We want to go live on TikTok, but we need 1,000 subs. So please go follow us on TikTok as well. We are Beyond the Harmony on everything except for Twitter because they don't let us have that many characters. So we are Beyond DA. We are Beyond the Harmony on Twitter. Everything else is Beyond the Harmony. And please do that. And while we're asking y'all to do what you do, you know what I'm going to say. There are certain things that y'all pay for, and we appreciate it so much, but there are certain things that are just free to do, and one of them is to like this video right now. Make sure you give it a like. It goes a long way for the algorithm when they see videos that are getting a lot of likes. So if you haven't liked the video yet, please give it a like. Please give it a share. It's time. We're in here. Y'all know what it is. It's HC The Chemist tonight. We're going to bring him on in about 8 minutes. We just talked to him before the show. He's pumped to be here. We got a great interview. I'm pumped to have him. I'm not going to talk too much about HC because we got a couple things going on I want to cover while we have y'all's attention. Oh, look, we just had somebody like the stream. Feeding St. Paul, shout out to you sharing the stream. Number one, and I won't harp on this too much because we've talked about it a lot, but Skull and Crossroads Society, I just want to shout out all our members that are over there. We have so many people that have recently joined. I have all their names scrolling across the bottom right now. So shout out to all our Skull and Crossroads Society members. Yep. Including our 99th degree, man. We got 99th degree members in here. If you don't know what that is, make sure you're going to check out the different degrees. But the 99th degree is the highest tier. It is there is none higher. So I just want to shout out the 99th degree members. We got Joseph Tech and we got Joe Cal 84. Those are our 99th degree. But shout out to all our Skull and Crossroads Society members. It's outstanding. Will McAllister, thank you so much for sharing the stream. So with that, we recently announced the BTH coin. And I saw mixed reviews on that. Someone was like, I don't like scams. And I'm like, it's so crazy that crypto fucks so many people that it's like, you can't talk about crypto without it being a scam. We actually minted BTH coin about 2 years ago. John really did it to just see if it could be done, and the man did it, and it was created. And then, as you know, we went on a giant hiatus. So BTH coin is just sat there. I'm going to be 1,000. BTH coin has a zero value. They are worth $0. Okay. But it's something that we're working on. We don't even know what it's going to be yet. And it's something that's created that we can just share with y'all, that we can just do with you guys. We don't know if it's going to become a trade token. We even may work this out so that you can buy certain content that we create with BTH coin. Everybody that joins Skull and Crossroads Society gets BTH coin, and I have how much in the perks. So make sure you go to the membership tab on YouTube and check that out, see how much. However, I will say anybody that wants them, we're giving 100 coins to anybody that wants them. All you need is a Phantom wallet, or really, I mean, John, they can have any wallet that supports Solana.
It's gotta be a Solana wallet.
Solana.
So like you can't just have a wallet that supports Solana. It's got to be a Solana wallet. So Phantom is the most popular one I know of, but if there's another Solana wallet that supports the entire blockchain and all the forks of Solana, because BTH coin is a fork of Solana, so therefore you need a Solana wallet to be able to receive it. I did send some to a non Solana wallet. It said it sent, but I never received it. So just get a Phantom wallet. They're free to set up. As far as we know, there's no security risks or anything, but if anybody is a crypto pro, let us know of any risks you may see, because we're not trying to get anybody messed up. I am a certified Bitcoin professional, or Bitcoin certified professional. I passed the exam, certified and all that. So I know what I'm doing, but you know, there's always security risks I can't think of. I don't think there's any. Just to send, and everything is transparent. It's on the blockchain. If you want to look up our coin, it's on solscan.io. You could see all the wallets. You could see all the transactions. Everything is transparent. It's there. So if you want some, get it. Maybe, and this is like a pie in the sky thought, but if, you know, hopefully it could facilitate trade
Yeah.
amongst bone collectors. Maybe you want to sell your whatever product you have to somebody else for BTH coin.
Yeah.
And if everybody adopted it, then everybody could trade around CDs and posters and shirts and whatever you're collecting and make the trade currency BTH.
Yeah, and like I said, I think at a minimum, we're gonna at least make it internally valuable because we're gonna offer some content that you'll need BTH coin to purchase. So we're gonna do something, but it's really just something fun to do with y'all for now. It's just something extra. We're actually also gonna do some Beyond the Harmony NFTs as well. There's a lot of cool things that we're trying to do. So if you guys are interested in that, hit us up. Everybody's entitled to at least 100 coins, but more for our Skull and Crossroads Society. Again, shout out to everybody in the Skull and Crossroads Society. And TikTok, I told you about it all. Join our TikTok.
We need 1,000. We need 1,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah, we need 1,000. Also, if you're not ready to take the plunge into the monthly Skull and Crossroads Society, you know that you can always do super chats in here. We appreciate every one of them. Scrolling across your screen right now is how you can do Cash Apps. There's a donation link that you can follow if you want to do PayPals. There's a bunch of different ways if you're not ready to go Skull and Crossroads. However, Skull and Crossroads comes with a lot of perks for y'all. So make sure you check it out. When you check them out, also, there's more. I think a lot of people are just seeing the Apprentice tier and thinking that's it and joining it, which is cool. It gives you all the cool icons. You can see Joe Cal in the chat right now using them. But if you scroll on that page, you'll see that there's other tiers with other benefits that you can join. So make sure you check them all out. Alberna says Skeletal Melodies, which is Therese. You're Therese forever, man. I'm not changing now. It's been 6 years, Therese. Skeletal Therese Melodies. All right.
Yeah, and you guys notice I'm the longest standing member of Skull and Crossroads Society, and I have a purple B now.
Yeah, drop a little message in there.
Purple B.
Yeah.
Got the purple B.
Right. Those will change as you go. And we asked the question to y'all: would y'all be willing to move over to Patreon? And a lot of the current members said hell yeah. However, if it's full Patreon, we'd lose those icons. So it's like, I think I will still leave the icons here to buy cheap as possible. And if we move to Patreon, I'm going to make all your memberships $3 less than what you would pay here. That way you can sign up for the icons here for $3 and then move over to Patreon. But that's a story for a different time. Matt Weaver, are you ready to bring on HC the Chemist?
I got one quick thing I want to cover because I don't want it to get away from
cover it. Go.
The best video I've seen on our channel in a while is the Chat GPT video this week. Especially the stark contrast against all the fantastic shorts. Like it's just the wildest content menu I've seen on the channel in a long time. So John, you were very respectful with Chat GPT. A lot of people like to curse out the computer. But when you were doing it, did you really have to stop and think about your response on how you were going to make the video? Because it told us some wild stuff. Obviously, some of it's not true. Well, I don't think it is. Or I guess what I really want to know is, was there one or two things that really floored you or that you need to know more about?
Yeah. So I thought I used ChatGPT for other things, and it's fairly accurate. Not always. When it started spitting out Ross Conkel as the art director, I'm like, wait, hold on. Is everything I know, everything we did on Beyond the Harmony a lie?
Your life's a lie.
Yeah, it's everything I know. Yeah, and then when they threw the Ouija board, that the first Eternal album cover was the Ouija board, I'm thinking, I was really thinking back. I was like, man, like trying to take my mind back to 1995. Like, was there a Ouija board controversy with the album cover? And I just happened to forget it. And how did the Bone fans not talk about this for all these years? So that was just kind of throwing me like in the back of my mind. But the most mind blowing and actually kind of life altering thing that ChatGPT did, actually it was Google Bard, was when I asked about the rooms, and it it quoted Beyond the Harmony as if like we're the authoritative source on all things bone, which hey,
You know,
but
my
it's crazy for
theory.
a robot to tell me that.
My theory on the Ouija thing is it's confusing a Ouija board with the thing in the middle of the screen that y'all see right now. Oh, shout out to our boy, It's a Crazy Life. He donated $10. Man, Crazy is the man. He has sponsored fucking shows before. Got us shout outs from Layzie Bone. It's a Crazy Life. Make sure y'all follow him. Check out his albums. He's constantly doing features with Bone. He's a huge supporter of the show. Shout out, It's a Crazy Life. But my theory is that ChatGPT is confusing a Ouija board with the skull hand circle that y'all are in the middle of right now, and that it's also confusing the fucking clean version that features that on the cover as the original cover, which makes sense because I think that either came out early and went to radio or whatever. So I think it thinks that. I don't know who the wacky made up fucking artists that it said designed it are, right? We've pretty much talked to them all, so I don't know what that's about, but AI, it's getting better with time. I loved your AI video, John. We called this the Eternal season, but it's the artificial intelligence season, actually, motherfucker.
Very true. Very true.
It is.
Yeah.
So just know that whatever you put into even YouTube becomes part of artificial intelligence history facts. And it's so yeah, if you haven't seen the video, check it out to know what I'm talking about. But it quoted us more than once too. Like later on in the video, I asked because it was saying, oh yeah, if you want to know more about these runes, go to a Bone chat room, and you can find out from the maniacal fans out there. And I said, okay, well, can you list to me some of these chat rooms where all this secret little rune discussion is occurring? And it named like the CROSSROADS Society, but then it said Beyond the Harmony. And I was like, man, this does it know it's me? Like, is it trying to flatter me? This is this is bananas. So, dude,
Who's prompting who?
Exactly. Yeah. So completely unexpected. I mean, talk about unexpected. And in fact, had that not happened, I don't think that video would have happened. I'm just there trying to like come up with something funny for you guys, and then that happened, and I'm like, are you kidding? Google Bard quotes Beyond the Harmony. Oh my gosh! So now I'm like both. I got to enter all my thoughts into the internet, into Google, so I could be an authoritative source for people asking AI questions. But then simultaneously, I'm like, man, I got to be really careful about what we say because it becomes historical fact. Aside from the interviews, obviously the interviews we conduct here are historical fact, and they would be like this is a cited source. But just always be responsible in your words. That's all, because words could be spells. I don't know.
I just want to shout out real quick here. I see RC Thugsta in here, so shout out to RC Thugsta. He's our like man in the background. That's the all powerful Oz right there. He's been delivering all the articles and all that crazy like old shit that we've been delivering, and he's in there moderating. Shout out to RC Thugs. So shout out to the people that I see in here. Thomas says he's here for his fam. HC The Chemist showing love all the way from Las Vegas. I see Escape the Matrix that wants me to rap a Bone verse. I see Polo San Antonio in here. M Bone 87's in here. So I'm ready, boys. We ready to bring HC on?
Yeah, and speaking of HC and RC, I want to just say RC Thugs might be the first quarter of the season's MVP. That's all. He's got my nomination on the board.
He is
Guaranteed.
Season 5 MVP.
He is. There may not be a season 5 without him.
Yeah,
indeed.
All right, let's
bring on the HC.
Yeah, it's HC time. I'm excited for this one. All right. And almost started to sing, and then they'll give me a copyright strike. I see he wanted me to sing some Bone shit to get a copyright strike. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, on the side, I have the AI of Cecil's voice rap Bone verses, just so you guys know. Just to mess with him.
That's hilarious.
See him chopping in.
Hold on, let me put my stuff on Do Not Disturb.
We got that Bone Red.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we got
The best I can get.
HC's in the circle again.
The circle, y'all.
It's all right. It's all right. HC, if you can, if you back your camera up a little bit, or if you can back up a little bit, I think you'll be pretty good. I can make the rest work. Boom. Boom. It's going to look beautiful. Trust me, in the end. HC The Chemist. We've been talking about it. I've been bugging HC for a ridiculous amount of time. But here we are. HC The Chemist. Welcome to Beyond the Harmony. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Man, it's an honor to be here, man. Like, I've been checking y'all out for a few. And, hey, man, like I say, man, it just feels great to be here.
Yeah, man, it's been really important for us to, I'm sure historically we've put a lot of focus on, affiliates from the past, but the last couple of years it's been so important for us to start to build a platform for what we consider the current. And we've been lucky enough to have Smokey on here, to have Rocky Rock on here. So we're really excited that you joined us tonight. We got a great interview lined out, and any time that I'm doing one of these, I kind of like to set the foundation down, just so people get an idea. And I believe, unless I'm incorrect, but you were born in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but you ended up being raised in St. Paul, Minnesota. Is that right?
Correct.
And how old were you when you made that move from Indiana to Minnesota?
Man, it was I was like 5 years old.
Yeah. So it was really it's been like Minnesota life for you. You probably don't have much Indiana memories.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm a Minnesota boy, but I go back to Indiana every summer. So
nice. You got family or whatever back there?
Yeah, my mom and my dad from there, so both sides of my family.
I know from just checking out some different interviews, which it's so crazy as I do research on you that, you got interviews that date back 14 years right up until last year. So it's like there's really a spread of information. But, I noticed that none of them kind of do it the way that I do it, which is we're going to really cover the HC story in a complete fashion. So it's like I feel like it's important for us to just acknowledge like how it all started. And early on, you were real inspired by hip hop culture to the fact that you were doing things that you didn't even realize like this is because of hip hop. But you attended some band classes in school. What'd you play in band class?
Man, y'all gonna laugh at me, but I was being lazy. Like, I ain't really want to. I used to walk home. I stayed a block away from the school. So when it was time to go pick an instrument, I'm like, man, give me that one right there because it's a little small case. I'm like, yeah, I can carry this. I can carry this on. Ended up being a fucking flute.
Hey, so this is the important thing about that, which is regardless of the instrument, did you like learn to read music at that time?
I played the flute for probably like a semester.
Yeah.
And then I moved to trombone. So I was in the brass.
Yeah.
From trombone I went to drums. It really wasn't until I got into about like 7th grade, I was able to start really picking up reading music. Now,
the drums, every time I have a producer on, they talk about like how important the drums are to know. Like everyone's like, hey, the drums is kind of like everything. Like, was it real important to like, do you notice yourself really like relying on those drum skills as you're kind of building your beats, especially when you started out?
Yeah, like when I was making weak beats, we all started off making weak beats. My drum tracks was cold. The music was kind of, it was like that dark sound, until then I had to figure out how to make like happier beats. Then I started making too happy beats. So I'm like, man, hold on, I gotta go back to my dark sound.
I was gonna say, in '97 you actually hooked up with the Nation of Sick, and that's when you started to rap, and that's also where you started to learn the foundation of making those beats. Did making the beats, did that kind of come naturally to you because of your school experience?
you know what it actually did, but I learned how to make beats. I had my Casio, and I used to just play beats over. Like I'll be listening to music, and I'll be trying to play the beat over on the keyboard, and that's what kind of taught me how to make beats. So I was really making beats over first.
And when you were with the Nation of Sick, you started making the beats, but were you rapping over there as well? Like, had you started to lean into being a rapper at that point, or was it more about being a producer?
It was both, because Nation of Sick already had like 2-3 producers, and we was like 8 people, so it was like we was all artists at the same time. So I didn't have to make beats. I would come into the studio, they're already working on the song. I just have to come in and do my little 8 bars, and it was a rap.
Something that I've thought about a lot as I analyzed, your music, especially coming into this interview. I'd listened to a bunch of your music before, but obviously before I do an interview, I do a lot of analyzing. And, I know that you found inspiration from another artist that you produced for named Young Menace, who was from Illinois. And Chicago is obviously a place for a lot of fast chopper rappers, Twisted, Do or Die, Crucial Conflict. And even before, you were with them, you were inspired by Bone. But I've also heard, be kind of smooth and with the harmonies as well. Is that something that you learned later on kind of with Bone, or were you always versatile and trying to have like the speed with the harmonies?
Being from the Midwest, I always had the speed. When I first started off rapping, I had like a monotone. I couldn't break out of this monotone flow. When I was working with Young Menace, we had started a group called LIS Boys, the Lyrical Insanity Boys. And he kind of helped hone my skills to make me break out of that monotone. I couldn't break out of it, but I had the lyrics, but I didn't have the delivery yet.
Yeah, I think it's pretty crazy because, when you listen to your music and it's like, I always talk about affiliates, and not just affiliates, but, fans that do a lot of like, the Bone sound. It's like, there's a very fine line to me between trying to be a Bone clone and kind of like doing the sound, but making it your own. And I think that it's really like commendable that you've been surrounded by Bone, and that, like you said, you're Midwest and you do those harmonies, but when you do it, when you're smooth, but you're also rapping fast, like it doesn't sound like you're ripping off the Bone sound or the Bone style. Like you fit into the pocket well and make it your own.
You want to know why? Because for like the first like 7 years of my career, I sounded like Bone. So I had to break out of trying to sound like Bone, and I had to create my own identity.
Was that like just being inspired by them, listening to the music and stuff, and kind of learning your way is kind of what got you in the way of just like sounding so much like them?
Yeah, and then it was the beats too. Like DJ Unique, man, he was hypnotizing me with them beats. I was like when I used to listen to them Bone songs, man, I used to be like in the damn near in the trance, just spaced out listening, like, damn, this shit sound good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I always was inspired by Nate Dogg too, so I always kind of had that ghetto harmony type of thing with me.
Something that I thought was pretty interesting is early in your career, you had sent a demo to Spice One. Now, you never heard anything back, but I thought it was so crazy that Bone was also really inspired by Spice One. Like, in fact, they wrote Down 71 originally to a Spice One beat. So it's crazy the parallels in your story to Bone's story. Like, it's almost destined that you would hook up with them. Was there anybody else that you wanted to connect with before you made, like, the connection to Bone?
I eventually hooked up with him, but it was through the Bone, though.
Yeah, with Spice, yeah.
No, it wasn't Spice. Can I say who it was, or should I say it later in the interview?
Well, we're gonna talk about it, but you go where you want, man. We'll jump around. This is your interview, baby, so we go where you want.
Well, like us all, man, we all wanted to be the dog father, so I eventually in my career ended up hooking up with Snoop Dogg. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, for sure, for that compilation. Yeah, we'll get there. I know that you started to hook up with Bone when they were coming to Minnesota, or as HC calls it, Money Soda, and you got their number and email to send them beats. Do you remember roughly what year that was when you first made that correction? I think it was like 2000 for the Grey Goose tour, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, it was 2000, 2001, where the first time I met Layzie in person. That was the Grey Goose tour. And it was 2000. It was when they was touring I Try So Hard with the 3 members. That was about 06, 07. Oh, what was that? Strength and Loyalty. What year was that?
Yeah, it would have been in, let's see, if you were 06, 07.
Yeah, that's
right. Yeah, it'd be Strength and Loyalty, right? Yeah, in that time. Well, Strength and Loyalty finally came out in 2007. So, but yeah, Thug Story, Strength and Loyalty in that pocket for sure.
Okay, that's when I had got with Layzie. He introduced me to Crazy and to Wish. I had got Crazy and Layzie's number and their email, so I started flooding them with beats.
Yeah, that persistent. Being persistent. I loved. I listened to another interview where it was like I would send one, the beat, and then I would turn around and send the other one the beat too. Almost double down on something. You better off having 2 people hear it than the one. I thought that was good that you were persistent, because persistence is something that wins almost all the time. It's like, especially if you're trying to get noticed by somebody that's probably got so many people trying to notice them. It's like the persistence is what's going to win. Real quick, shout out to Smokey the Bandit in the chat. Smokey the Bandit, Beyond the Harmony alumni, Flesh and Bone Global. Shout out to Smokey. You finally got your big break with Layzie. You were in the Black Room studio, and he was working with another artist, and for hours they're trying to find the right beat. They couldn't find the right beat. Finally, you showed up, and it sounds like they found the right beat pretty quick, and that song got finished. But there's a crazy story around the masters where they almost got tied up, but you saved the day. You want to let everybody in on that story?
Man, it was they had Layzie in the studio. A couple of producers was up there. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Outlaw Josie Wells. Shouts out to Young Menace. There was a couple other people up there too. Man, they was playing some cold ass tracks. I ain't gonna lie to you. Them tracks was cold. But the homie was like, "Hey fam, you bring some beats?" I was like, "Yeah." I had popped the CD in. Got to the first one. Like about 10 seconds played, L Burner, he started rapping, but he was like, all right, I'll go to the next one. Same thing, about 10 seconds played, he instantly take off, he rapping again. He'd be like, no, but I'm looking for some, he said, I'm looking for something that we can play on the radio. And the third one had dropped, and it came straight on. He was like, that's it right there. That's all it took was boom, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's it.
That's crazy.
Damn, this nigga just picked my track.
It reminds me, that story reminds me of the first time I saw Jay-Z when he was doing Dirt Off My Shoulders. He's in a room with Timbo, and Timbo's just going through beats, and of course I'm like, damn, these are all fire, but Jay's just going through beats. All of a sudden that beat hits, and you just see Jay make the face, and it happened just like you just said. It was like 2 seconds, and he was like, this is it. So it's wild when you're dealing with somebody that is on another level, that's been doing it so long, like Layzie or like a Jay-Z. It's like they either know it's the one or it's not. They don't have to listen to it for 3 minutes to know if it's the one. Like they know immediately. That song that you recorded, I know that there was a situation where the studio owner unfortunately passed away, and that song almost got tied up, but you saved that. Did that song ever actually come out?
That song actually got stolen, and the artist who did the song with Layzie didn't even end up on the song when it came out.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's crazy. So the very first HC The Chemist Layzie Bone collaboration It got stolen and remixed and all kinds of crazy shit.
I still got my credit though.
Yeah, hell yeah. A shout out to Blaze. I see Blaze in the comments. I see Archie Blaine over on Instagram. We got a star-studded night tonight. Beyond the Harmony alumni all in here to check out HC The Chemist. We appreciate everybody checking out. Before you even hooked up with Layzie, you'd been working with the late, great Cheek the Freak, who had been a very long time Bone affiliate. You guys were actually talking way back, even MySpace days. A few years back, we unfortunately did lose little Chico. And for me personally, I say it all the time, it was sad. We never got him on the show, and him and I had been working on a date. Because we never got to get him on the show, do you got any cool Chico stories that you could share with the listeners?
Man, I got a couple, man, but I can't even say a couple of them though. But I just want to say shout out to Archie Blaine though, man, because I was banging Archie, man, before I was even in a game like this. So I want to pay homage to anybody y'all see in this building, bro. You know they Mo Thugs, or they Harmony Howse, or they family. Shout them out so I can get my P's back to them.
Hell yeah, Archie's the man. Much love, Archie. Yeah, the Chico thing, man, it was so sad. We were talking at the end of one of the seasons, and we were supposed to get him on. And he was really excited, and it's like, I think he's a great example of, as us as listeners, it's so easy for us to go, it's Bone, and everybody else is kind of like a side quest. But you could see that the loss of him and how much it meant to the guys and to all of you, and it's like, for all of us as listeners, it's just like it's Bone, but it really, they can't be them without all of y'all. And that's been something that's been significant for years. When you listen to the stories about them, they've never rolled by themselves. There's always been, the clique around them. And it's like, the loss of Chico, the loss of like Rob J, it's like these things have really, hit. And it's like, We've been really privileged, and we don't even realize it, that we've had so many of y'all that Bone has brought on, and that we've got to experience that. Because I truly believe that Bone wouldn't be the Bone we know today if it wasn't without the team around them. Like, they've built a team like you don't usually see in hip hop. I mean, it's crazy. When they say Mo Thug Army, that's fucking real.
And that's why I'm Mo Thugs, for real though, because I want to be a part of a family. I want the thug devotion, man. I want to give the thug devotion back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Past place.
Speaking of Mo Thug family, it's crazy that we're talking to you this week, because just 2 weeks ago we did an interview with Thin C, who of course has done a lot with Bone. He was with them for years and years, but really got his chance to shine on the uniform. Yeah, his if you haven't seen the Thin C interview, man, it's one of the greatest Beyond the Harmony interviews we've done. He's a great dude, and he gave us such a good interview. He really got, though, the shot, even though he'd been there for really pushing since like the El Burna album. In 2010 Unify, he got the big push. He was featured on Rebirth. He produced My Life. But you also have a pretty awesome Unify story that I don't know if everybody knows, which is you produced a massive fan favorite, the What Have I Done. It had the Michael Jackson sample in it from Earth Song, and we know it didn't end up making the final cut, and it was because of those sampling issues mixed with the unfortunate loss of Michael Jackson. But was there a time where it did look like that song was going to get the green light? Because fucking fans love that one. Like, when we talk about certain songs should have made Unified, that one's always like in the top of that list.
I think Layzie got Mike to remix that song before he passed. We had original vocals on. It was a couple vocals on there. That was some original vocals.
Yeah, it's an amazing song, man. Like, when we talk about the versatility of Bone Thugs and Harmony, Phil Collins, it's crazy. Jonathan Davis from Korn on the New Waves album. The versatility is amazing, and it's like not everybody and not most are going to get on a song where there's Michael Jackson vocals and make it great the way that song is. I mean, an Earth song is like a monumental Michael Jackson song. It's like you can't really fuck with perfection in history unless you're going to do it justice. And that song did it so much justice. Like, why, out of everything that you could have done when they were asking and there was that money was left in the budget and it was like, let's do it. Like, what was it about that leans you in that direction? Because you could have done a bunch of shit. You could have made an original beat. You could have sampled a different Michael Jackson. Like, what brought you there?
I never heard an Earth song before in my life.
You've never heard Earth song? That's crazy. I'm gonna send you Earth song and your mind's gonna explode, bro.
No. At that point, I had never heard it.
Okay.
I'm from Indiana. We know every Michael Jackson song. I never heard Earth song before, y'all.
And so this is news. We didn't realize like that Michael Jackson had like original vocals on it. Do you remember what he was talking about? Like what the subject matter might have been?
Same subject matter.
Yeah.
What we done to the world.
Yeah. Just recorded it for that specifically. Yeah, man. The song is, I mean, when I say it's like a fan favorite, bro, and I'm sure you've heard it, but that is like a top, like, man, everybody's sad that didn't make it. Of course, it got released later on, got put on a Crazy Bone project. Was there ever a time, because say that again?
I said, shout out to Craig Jack.
Yeah, hell yeah. Was there ever a time, because the song was so good and of course it didn't end up getting cleared, was there ever a time where it was considered being re-recorded over like an original beat or anything like that?
Come on, man. Now y'all all in my brain and shit, man. That's on the way.
Yeah. Hey, man, I do this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, my job is to know before the people know it. So, were you, and I might have the timeline wrong, but around that time, were you also attending college courses?
I never really spent too much time in college.
Got you. Yeah, I thought I saw something about, like college and stuff. So that's why I wanted to check that out. I had mentioned Thin C earlier. You guys are really similar. It's kind of interesting because it sounds like, you got to become really active just like a little before Unify, and he kind of stepped away a little after. Did you and Thin C get a chance to work together at all before that gap happened?
Now we finna make this interview. This part right here is called HC and Thin C.
Let's go.
Because Thin is my motivation when it comes down to production, being professional, being punctual, on time. Come on, man. Thin. Hats off to him. That's big, bro.
Yeah.
Vocals, mixing, making beats, playing instruments. Come on, man. I could have a whole nother Thin C interview.
Yeah, man. He's amazing. And it's again, I talked about the parallels with the Spice One situation, but it's also really crazy when you look at he was with them. Really, he'd been with them before, but really active from 2000 to like 2011. So he had this solid like decade plus of just being with Layzie and Mo Thug and knocking shit out. And then, of course, for personal reasons, he stepped back. And what's so wild is you come in and now you knock out over that amount of time. And it worked out really good for Lay because, when Thin C stepped back, he kind of lost his ace producing and being there and rapping. But you were able to fill some very big shoes that not everybody could. And you and El Burna have built an amazing catalog together. But when Thin C had to step away, did your workload increase greatly when he stepped away? Because it's kind of like, as soon as he stepped away, it was like, all right, HC, this is the time to shine if you're going to do it.
Thin C got one of one of my favorite Layzie Bones songs, man. It's this international beat called Breakfast in Bed. When that one drop, y'all gonna be like, man, Thin is the code, man.
Yeah, he is, bro.
That's motivation.
It makes me happy to hear the influence that he had on YouTube, just because I you know, when I think of y'all, it's like you guys really do, you're very similar in a lot of ways, you know, as far as, like you said, your professionalism. You rap, he raps, you both produce. Like, your impact on Mo Thug and Bone, and specifically Layzie Bone, it's like there's so many things there that are very similar. Even the way y'all carry yourselves, like I said, your professionalism is top notch, and so is his. So I'm really happy to hear that Thin C had such an impact on you, because I know how much of an impact he had on Layzie, and you know, it's really cool that you were able to step up and you know, help fill that space, you know, when he had to walk away.
I appreciate you for saying step up, because you know it ain't like he ever left.
Yeah.
All he did was just handing me the torch. He just said everything around with the torch for me.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know, somebody had to do it. Like I said, those are huge shoes. He'd been doing a lot for 11 years, and you know, somebody had to step up and do that, and you've done an outstanding job. You know, prior to Unifive, something that is interesting, that in around 2008, you actually produced an unreleased Bizzy Bone song called Welcome to Church. Big Sloan is in it. What's the backstory on that track? It's a fucking banger. Like, was it meant for a specific project? Like, how did that come about? What happened to it? It's on the internet. We know about it. I don't even know if the listeners know that that's some Thin C work, but that thing is a fucking banger, bro.
No, actually, I produced Welcome to Church.
Say that again.
Yeah. Cecil, you had said a Thin C thing, but it's an HC thing.
Yeah, that's what I meant. We HC Thin C got me messed up with the HC Thin C segment. Yeah. That's what I meant. You produced the Welcome to Church, and I've just been curious, because it was 2008, and I was just curious, like, if that was meant for something, like how that song came about.
Everybody had got some paper to do a song. Song just really never came out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, if the listeners, if y'all haven't heard that song before, if you're not savvy to that track, y'all want to go check that out, because that beat goes hard as hell, man. Like, and you know, Bizzy and Sloan sound so good on it. Like, it's really crazy how good that song is. Like, it knocks. Even like us having like the, you know, the not full CD quality version of it, like the leaked version, it's like, this motherfucker knocks, man. It's like it is really crazy. Alongside with that, because obviously we put a lot of, you know, time into talking about your impact on Mo Thug, your obvious impact on Layzie Bone, but Crazy and Layzie got featured alongside Rocky Rock on the Duct Tape Gang song We Do That, and you produced that track as well. And I thought that had a really cool, like, Bone Mo Thug contrast to it, because you got Crazy and Layzie with the troops. Did you know you were producing a song that was also going to, you know, feature Crazy, or how did that track come about?
Man, every song is a crazy story, man. All the way down to if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Yeah.
I later got busy on some other stuff on a Bone record. If was a fifth, man, y'all gotta go check that one out on that Layzie Bone album, man. Y'all.
That had a lot of, like, that was a cool track. Was that on the Annihilation or the one right after that? Was that Lost and Found? Which album? I remember it was a big deal when it came out.
It feels like Annihilation to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they all start to blur together. You've produced and done so much in that amount of time. You could put together the HC The Chemist, like, greatest hits and need multiple volumes just because you've done so many tracks in that amount of time.
And that's what I need to see, man. I need somebody to do that for me, man. Just hit me with a graphic with the collection, man.
Hey,
And I'll pull the music together.
I think Cody Hillier's still in here, man. The Harmony Howse trusts Cody Hillier to the fullest. So, if you're listening still, Cody, look out for your man HC.
Hey, hold on, man. Now we're going to make this an HC and Cody interview.
Okay, let's go.
Cody, man, tell the world, man, the first mixtape you had designed and who got you the plug to do it, man. The nigga did, I think, one of them fix tapes, bro.
Yeah, he did.
He got the plug from the H. I don't even do stuff like that, man. But he got the plug from the H, man.
Oh, shit.
Poppy.
Yeah,
a little Chico pop.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. Cody's actually in the chat. He said Crazy Bone just one more hit. He did the work for that one, and he's been really integrated into Bone and Harmony Howse culture since that moment. To the point that if people don't know, he designed that Harmony Howse logo that gets rocked so proud now is even that's some Cody work. So people don't realize that Cody goes way back like a trunk on a Cadillac as well, man.
Oh yeah, he come through when it's time for him to come through.
Yeah. Cody started as a fan, and you see where he is now. I think that's a really cool thing too, is that there's so many people that kind of start as fans or listeners. And, that if they work hard enough, again, like we talked about, being persistent, it gets you in. If you got the skills and you're persistent, you're going to get noticed. You've spoken before about staying tapped in with the fans through different platforms like BT&H Board. And I've mentioned a lot that the fans seem to really treasure the original Mo Thug 1 and 2 roster. And I've always said that a big reason for that is Bone really pushed the connection with them with things like Thug TV and, of course, the compilations. Has there been talk about giving the fans a similar kind of compilation with the new generation of Harmony Howse, Mo Thug? Because it looks like maybe with Welcome to the House project, that's what we're gonna get. But I wasn't sure if we're gonna finally see like a old school compilation with y'all all over it.
No, that's already done. It's just projects got to come out before projects.
Yeah, I think that's big, man, because there's so many affiliates and they're putting out great music, but the thing that's missing for the fans is let's connect them. Let's get them. Let's make sure they know more about HC. Let's make sure they know about Rocky Rock, about Smokey, Duct Tape Gang, and that connection's what's missing. And I think a compilation is really gonna change things. That mixed with platforms like this, we really trying to build that connection between y'all and the fans. Because we're in 2024, man. We are in this era of Bone, and like I said previously, y'all are so important to that structure that it's we got to make sure we connect with y'all and support y'all.
Hold on, man.
You produce so much music, especially for Layzie, not to mention how many songs you've been featured on as a rapper. Out of the catalog that you have, and I'm sure this is a tough question, bro, but do you have a few that are your all-time favorites, or anything that's your shining favorite in that catalog?
And I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I got a new favorite, man. It's called Feeding St. Paul. Me, Layzie Bones, and homie St. Trip. That shit's hard as fuck, and it's a huge song.
What is it about it? What is it about it that kind of put that in first place to you?
Because I got the beat from a little homie in Canada, so it just was some different shit for me.
Kind of like pushed your limits a little bit, it was something new and kind of made you go outside of your box, or
you know what it is? It was damn it. Every day I deal with artists every day, and they always getting beats off of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So they come into the studio getting beats off of YouTube and other sites, just stealing beats. And it was an original beat that sounded like a YouTube beat to me. So I was like, I can fuck with it as an original producer. And that's how me and YK built this relationship. He the one that produced the Year of the Goats.
Yeah, YK be showing a lot of love, especially for this interview. Was sharing it, you know, showing a lot of love. So shout out to YK as well. You had brought up the year.
HC. That's my homie right there, man. I said he just got production credit with Layzie Bones and HC on their new album.
Yeah, the Hypnotic Rhythms.
That's my homie, man.
Yeah. Hypnotic Rhythms, man, it came with like really positive reviews from the Bone fans. In fact, we did a listening party on it, and like we really felt like it gave us some old school Layzie vibes, even like shades of like all the way back to Thug by Nature. I know you were involved. Like, what was your production on that album? And did you also mix it? I've been curious if you mixed it as well.
No, man, we be passing mixes around, bro. Like, I'll be getting some cold mixes. I might do a little ABC to it, send it off. Sometimes I might just be like, man, I'm done with it. Let the homie just throw a little bit of A sauce on it. Then send that motherfucker out.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That album specifically, like I said, like that thing really hit. Like the reviews for that were so good. And you know, and I know you know as well as anybody, Bone fans can be like ultra critical. And I mean, Layzie has caught some heat at times. I think everybody that's put projects out at times, the Bone fans have had some shit to say. But this one got such good reviews. Like, what is it about Hypnotic Rhythms album that you think made it different and like made the fans embrace it so heavy?
Man, it's another Layzie Bone album, man. He unpredictable, man. You can't put that man in no box.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Y'all really did it with that one. Like all the song, the layers on the song, and when I say layers, I don't mean vocal layers, but like I mean like the different levels of the songs and the places he brings you. Like it really, I mean, from Pillar to Pillar. Bro, first time I heard Pillar, that shit was stuck in my head to the point that I was like, I wish I could get this fucking song out of my head. I'm just singing that Pillar hook everywhere I went. And it's like, that song makes you happy. Earlier when you were talking about like the happy beats, I'm like, Pillar makes you happy. And the video does too. Like Layzie looks like he's like really loving life. And the message behind that song, I always say like Layzie's so important to the Bone Thug culture because he's really at times put this whole thing on his back and made sure that it's been great for everybody, for Bone, for the affiliates, for the fans. So it's like when he says he's the pillar, he's not talking shit. Like the man really is, but he looks happy and he's not like bragging it. He's just letting you know like, hey, I'm El Burner and I'm here. Like this thing's always gonna be here, you know. So that album, bro, it was really, I mean, it was different. Y'all killed it, man.
Hey, something interesting in the chat. So It's a Crazy Life pointed out that HC The Chemist mixed and mastered his album, It's a Crazy Life. So shout out to HC for doing that for It's a Crazy Life. That's amazing. Small world, man.
I have a business of partners where all we do is focus on mixing and mastering artists' music. So if anybody want to get the Bone sound, there's gonna be a number y'all can hit or an email and get y'all music mixed right.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's a great opportunity. Like you said, you want to get that Bone sound. It's like you got to go inside of the camp. A lot of people can pretend to do it, but you're only gonna really know it if you working with it. So y'all heard it. You want to work with HC? It's possible. The bridge is there. This is just a fan question I got. Maybe you can answer it. Maybe you can't, but if you can, we want to know. It came up during the live stream of Hypnotic Rhythm. When that got uploaded to like streaming sites, like a lot of the feature credits and production credits weren't there, and that's why we had so many questions about it. But there's a song called We Ain't Playing, and there's some guest vocals in there, and it sounds a lot like Busy Bones. Some people said maybe it's Rain from Havoc, but I was like, that sounds like Busy. Can you confirm that? Do we got a little Busy Bone feature on there?
Y'all gonna have to give Big Bro on this motherfucking show. He might have to tell you about the album. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
I I wasn't there when it was recorded though, so it's a mystery to me too, y'all.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I think that hand in
But
hand.
I know who on.
I think hand in hand with like Layzie Bone projects that got really good reviews from the fans is the Eyes on the Prize project, and that's your collaboration with Layzie, and that like really like the fans embraced that like big time, and it you know, it had like a new age like Mo Thuggin vibe to it. I mean, even right down to the artwork. What is it about that project specifically that you feel like gave it that reception, and was it the reception that you were hoping for?
Eyes on the Prize, man. Y'all ain't heard Eyes on the Prize. Y'all need to go download, listen to that, stream that right now. They know about All On It though. Shouts out to PZ, Position, all on that. Eyes on the Prize, man. That's HC and Layzie Bone collaboration project. Hottest thing in the streets. It's the sound that was bridging the gap for the old school and the new school.
Yeah.
That's what Eyes on the Prize is. You feel me?
Yeah. Nah, it really did, bro. Like, it's like I said, it's like you brought almost like that old, you know, Mo Thug vibe, but it was completely new. Like you took it and you like repackaged it and made it current and made it for now. But it's like you didn't just like, you know, throw them on a bunch of current beats and it sounded like this isn't where Bone belongs, or specifically Layzie. Like it sounded like y'all really like made like a classic together, to the point that I see fans asking, is there gonna be a chance of an Eyes on the Prize part 2? Like, are you gonna revisit that, or is that like a one-off? Like, what's going on there?
First of all, y'all got us fucked up if y'all ain't heard the Midwest flow on that Eyes on the Prize. Collide, produced by Notice. Y'all talking about lyrics. Man, y'all better go listen to them lyrics, man. Y'all, they ain't fucking with Collide.
Yeah.
Nigga, Burner, man. Yeah. Then we got the Thuggin remix.
Oh, the Thuggin remix is so good. Yeah, that one's good. That's the one with Raiden on it, right?
But yeah, and then we was talking about putting on for like the next generations and stuff. For those that don't know, man, the Spit Your Game contest.
Yeah, that is great.
The Spit Your Game contest. The little homie Greasy, K Quick, Smoke Holy Young, about 4-5 of them guys that ended up on a couple of Stack Flesh and Bone albums from the Spit Your Game.
Yeah, man. That,
bro, we make dreams happen. They got HC Global, Harmony Howse, ENT. They don't want me to start Mo Thuggin in this thing. Mo Thug, shout out to Rockin' Big Sloan. All my Mo Thug niggas were.
I really thought the Spit Your Game platform, like when it was announced, I was like, this is one of the coolest things that's been like a Bone connected thing in a long time, because like you said, it's given opportunity to the people who look up to him to like you said, possibly end up on a track. How did that come about? You know what I mean? Like it sounds like that's something that you kind of like, you know, thought up, but like how did the whole thing come about, and what's the status of it now?
It's currently active. We just been testing some ideas. I've been letting go some exclusive Layzie Bone. The whole Spit Your Game is all about me releasing some exclusive Layzie Bones and remixing it, flipping them, letting the fans eat it up.
Yeah.
They be spazzing. The ones that spaz end up on albums.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's the truth.
I saw a bunch of people even like on the Get Your Thug On, the Wishbone, like people are really going in, like, and it's cool because, you know, anybody can get on TikTok and do an open verse, but this is being presented, you know, by, you know, Harmony Howse. Like this is like official. So when you do this, it's different than just rapping good on TikTok. Like the people you want to hear, that you want to hear this, they about to hear it. HC is gonna hear it. Layzie's gonna hear it. It's like this is almost like you know, an open audition, and to have that opportunity, like some people don't realize how crazy it is to get that opportunity so easy. Because when HC The Chemist wanted that opportunity, it wasn't as easy as just let me record this and upload it, you know. So this opportunity is crazy in 2024.
They say get money, man. Stay humble. Shout out to everybody that's watching.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We got how many people we got up in this thing, man? We ain't got enough. What's happening?
Oh man, people have been bouncing in and out. We got people on Facebook. I've been looking over. I see a bunch of people we got rolling on Instagram right now. I actually see Shutterboy, who was with the Life Entertainment, rolled through here. Made by Robbie C, who's done a bunch of artwork for Bone, has been in here. Like I said, Archie was in here earlier. It's crazy. You've really pulled out a lot of people, you know, for your interview. I saw you did a lot of promo as well. We appreciate that. That goes back to your professionalism. Is, you know, you didn't just show up to an interview. You made sure people knew you were going to be on it. So again, that's nod to your professionalism. You were in attendance.
Be digital.
Smokey says we in here. Smokey the Bandit. Yeah, that's the homie right there, man. You were in attendance at Versus. You know, Bone Thugs, 3-6 Mafia. We obviously know about the little bit of drama, but outside of that, what a historic moment. Can you just talk about the energy around Bone and the camp going into that? Like, as fans, I don't know if we've been that excited in a long time. Like that was crazy. And I've always just been curious for y'all, like what that was like for you guys during the build up.
It's only two questions, nigga. Would you rather been on stage or would you rather been in the crowd?
Yeah.
What you would have did. Nigga run up on you and sock you in your jaw. How you gonna react?
Yeah, man. No, it was crazy. Even the fans, you said, were like brawling that night when that shit kicked off. But you know, Bone fans be like that. 3-6 fans be like that too. Like the 3-6 fans are hardcore. But you know, Matt was in attendance and he said it was Bone heavy.
Motherfucker with them, they're all Bone, but
yeah. You brought up earlier a little bit about HC Global, you know, which is obviously, you know, your company, that's your baby, that you're building. I was just curious what your vision for that company is going forward, you know, and kind of what you want to do with it over the next like 5 to 10 years.
Man, the name already speaks for itself. Either you networking with it or you hate it.
Is that just something like you doing production out of, or you think eventually you're gonna look to like also bring your own artists on, as far as that company?
I don't know, but HC Global though definitely is really based upon me just putting artists out. That's all I like to do is put artists out. You know, because it's like it stops me from being an artist really, and I get to be a producer, run my other businesses. But that's what HC Global for everybody else to come out. It ain't about me.
Yeah, I think that's dope, man. That you know you want to platform other people.
There's a whole life full of people that just want to see HC shine. And you know they fucking with the Bone, so they fucking with everything else that we fucking with the real life.
Yeah, man, I think it's real cool that you like to, you know, you like to share the shine, spit your game. HC Global, it's like, you know, you're not trying to, you know, selfishly hold on to it. It's like you find talent, you want to see them shine too. And I think that's dope because not everybody, a lot of people in your position aren't like that. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't want to pull the next guy up, but you seem to really like want to make people around you shine, which I think is dope because, like I said, not everybody's trying to do that.
That's what Mamo Thug is about. My niggas like Tim in Ohio, Studies, We want to see each other shine.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody and you had talked a little bit about the production, you know, Raiden Rush, who became like Flesh's go-to producer recently. You guys had actually announced like a joint album together. I was just curious what the status of that is, because when I heard that was gonna happen, I was like, oh shit, like this is gonna be crazy, bro.
That motherfucker Raiden Rush is. If I'm a scientist, I have to call him a genius. Like he just gonna just turn you up. He's just gonna turn it all the way up.
Yeah, man. He, but
You have no choice but to be talented. You feel me? If you're not talented, man, you can't do music with me. Niggas like Raiden, a lot of niggas that we do music with. If you're not talented and you don't really do it, man, you just can't do it there. And it's the music we talking about, like the life, the work ethic. Come on, man.
I think that's one of the biggest things that people don't realize is the work ethic. It's like, it's one thing to make music and to make bangers and to do that, but it's like the work ethic, the amount of shows, the amount of traveling, you know, the amount of recording. It's like people don't really realize what it is until you start to talk to some of you guys and you find out it's like the keeping track of how many shows and how many tours and just being there. It's like you got to really show up and put that work in if you want to get noticed. And this is like a only the strong survive game, but it goes further than that. Like only the strong are going to survive in this like Bone Thug camp that y'all are in, because it's so easy to just burn out and be gone. What do you think it is that's like your longevity, man? You know, you've been at this so long, your longevity is insane. Like, do you ever feel that burnout, or you're living the dream, like every day's the dream?
Man, how can I feel the burnout when Eyes on the Prize 2 is on the way?
Yeah.
Welcome to the House is on the way. Whole projects is about to drop.
Yeah, man.
And I still got, that's not even my newest. That's just about to drop, but then I got the newest. Some got to drop after that. We hot. I can't be coming around there burner, not flamed up. You feel me?
Yeah.
Music, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing that's going on right now. All these projects coming out, and the reception is just like it's really good, man. Because you know we obviously we at that 30-year anniversary for Bone to continue to have the following, whether it's the fans or whether it's affiliates or whatever it is, for 30 years. Most people can't survive a few years in this, and rappers that, you know, premiered in the 90s, if you look at how many of them are still here and have a relevant, I mean, it's crazy. Here we are at 30 years, and at 30 years, the quality is, like I said, fans are accepting this shit at next level right now. So you know the quality is right. So it's an exciting time for us to be fans. Something I meant to ask you earlier, and I see people in the chat repeatedly asking, was your name HC The Chemist back then? And if not, what was it and how did you become HC?
HC stand for something, man. It's an acronym to something, man.
Yeah, I know it's humble child, baby. Don't act like I don't know what I'm doing, man. I just want to know the story. You know I know my backstory, HC.
Check this out. This gonna fuck y'all up. Do y'all know the song Pain that me and Layzie did off Eyes on the Prize? It eventually came out with a promo video.
Which one? Say it again.
Pain.
Yeah.
Being put on the chump chain.
In fact, I heard that one on the way home last night. What I really liked about all the songs on the album was the musical intros. Like all the songs had a musical intro, whether it was like a keyboard or strings. And I just wondered if you guys did that, like actively thinking about doing that, or did it just happen? Oh, I think he froze up.
Oh, we lose him. HC, you still with us?
think he just dropped out.
Oh,
Looks like he cut in and out real quick.
lost him. We'll see if we can get him back in. I don't want to lose him right there. We just started to get the goods on the HC name, man. I'm like, what a
That's a cliffhanger.
I know, right? I was like, oh man, it's too good for him to be cutting out right now. We'll see what it do. Shout out to everybody I see in the chat, man. Y'all are the best. It's beautiful to see so many of y'all in here. And yeah, bro. I love what we do. We do this.
The paint track was definitely on point. Obviously the Eyes on the Prize track starts out the album perfectly. And as I was just saying with HC, what I liked besides the bass on the album was that not every song, but the majority of the songs on the album have a musical intro, like 4 measures, maybe 6 measures. It has music. And it seems to me that songs that have a musical intro for a few bars gives it like an iconic feel to it. If you think about, just off the top of my head, you think about the next episode, not the next episode, but the other one with Eminem, Forgot About Dre. They don't just start off rapping. You hear those notes, dun, 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 right? And as soon as you hear that, you're like, oh, okay, this is the track. And it's not the same kind of notes like that where it's really memorable, but it was musical coming in. So I like that. All I'm saying is I wish more songs had musical intros that blended into the actual song.
I think that's what kind of makes him a little different, man, is that, he's truly a musician. Like, he understands what the music should be like. He's not just throwing instruments and throwing together a beat. Like, he understands, the concept of music. And, that's not everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody gets that.
I think HC is back.
Yeah, I think we're pulling him in. I hear him. We'll see him in a second.
The fuck is going on? I'm trying to get in.
There he is. Okay. I think we got you a little sideways, HC.
Okay, see, earlier it was tripping. So
there you are. There he is. There he is. All right. HC The Chemist back with us. We were like, nah, he dropped out at the worst time. No, we got you back in, man. Yeah, you were in the middle of telling us about the pain track and kind of how it connected to your name when you dropped out.
I remember being broke with only chump chain. Nobody in my corner while I chased again. They must have thought that I was. Come on, man. Y'all gotta go listen to that song, man. But we was actually a question, and I was referring back to a question.
Yeah. People want to know where the name, like, where it derived from. Like, how did you actually become?
See, that question came from God. And that's where HC came from. I was lost. I was God body, and been atheist, and did it all. But who had your back when it was time? You know what I'm saying? Did he have a title, or was he standing right there in front of you, helping you stay alive?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Broke with only chump and that shit. I'm trying to be out there, man. Ooh, I see him.
Yeah, man. Hey, y'all know if you haven't heard it, if you haven't listened to Eyes on the Prize, like it really is. It's an important record. I think it's an important album for like the Bone community. There's so many Bone projects out there, and it's like certain ones though. It's like this is a benchmarker. This is a staple. It's important for us to listen to it and understand it, and that's definitely one of them.
We can base this whole rest of this interview off of Eyes on the Prize. Let's talk about the songs. Intro. I just seen today or last night, I just seen they put an instrumental of our intro out there. Like vocals is gone. The beat is just cruising. Dum, dum, dum. Like, damn, they fucking with old eyes on the prize, huh?
Yeah, it's a fan favorite, bro. You know, and like we talked about, that's not always an easy thing to do. Bone fans are real critical.
Like, oh man, I got the sound, man. Y'all gotta fuck with it, man.
Yeah.
And they'll burn.
Hey, the bass on the album is incredible. Did you guys, think it through like, yo, let's give them a ton of bass, especially like some type bass drops in it? I mean, are you guys fans of bass? Because to me, listening to it on the way home last night, I was loving how much quake my speakers were having, and it was like track after track after track. It was the whole album all the way through. Tell me about the bass, man. Was it just that just happens to be in your drum set, or do you want to give the people tons of that bass?
808.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you love it, John. Them 808s.
Well, I'm loving it, bro. Yeah, man. It was quaking the whole way home, bro.
Hey, that's gratitude, man. Shouts out to you, man. That shit was hard to me too. I just wanted to make sure that motherfucker was hidden and we sounded different. Like I said, I was always trying to be HC and like have my influences, but create my own identity and style.
Yeah, yeah.
However I could, you know what I'm saying? Whether I take all my influences, put them in a pot and say, and I'm everybody. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
Now we talking about hip hop.
You know, when I listen to different producers and of course, you know, it's like we could do the generic breakdown of, you know, a Southern beat, a New York beat, a West Coast beat. But I always say, and John and I talk about this a lot offline, which is some beats are good, but it's like the producer didn't know how to make it bang, even though the beat is good, but it doesn't bang. But there's something about your beats that I'm like, these always hit so hard. Like you feel these in your chest if it's too loud. Like, what is it about your production style that gives you that?
I got a fan question. I want to know what's the hardest HC produced Bone song? Need to know.
Like the beat?
The beat wise, y'all can do beating song or beat. And I'm gonna tell you a beating song that I can put up to it that'll go verse it.
All right, y'all. You heard it in the chat. Let us know. Let's run it back for him. What's the hardest HC The Chemist, track out there?
Well, Annihilation. Did you do that track? Like the beat for that? The song, not the album, but the actual song.
Hey, that's the story for this interview right here. Y'all ready?
I love that fucking song. I love that fucking song. I love that whole project. I bought like 4 copies of it.
Man, I walked in the studio. The homie Blaze was in there, and I think he was trying to show me a couple beats. So he played a couple beats, and then he had played the Annihilation. It didn't have no drum track to it. It was just the music. Now y'all know the history, so I walk up in there like, hold up, like I'm hearing this cold ass music, but it ain't got no drums behind it. So it was easy for me as a producer. You feel me? But all I did, because he did the drum track, I had freestyled the 808 all the way through the song, nigga. That's how hard the motherfucking music was. I just freestyled the motherfucking 808, which that motherfucker's knocking.
Yeah, that Annihilation project is, like I said, that was one of my favorites, man. I think, John, how many copies of that did we pick up at that time? It was like we picked up like 3 or 4 copies because we were like, yo, this is gonna be the way that we look at, albums and shit, and they're held in such high regard from, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, all the way back 30. When we heard Annihilation, we were like, yo, this is gonna be one of those ones. I'm not gonna not have this in my fucking collection. And we bought like 4 of those Annihilation projects.
At least. I think I might have bought 8. I don't know.
Let's talk about Lost and Found. See, because this is my interview, so I get to talk about it, man.
Go.
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Lost and Found. Then we can talk about Wanted Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Them was projects, bro.
They were coming out so quick. Like it was like Annihilation drop. I think he had the Assassin and then Lost and Found drop. So how many songs are you guys making a day? It seems like you guys must be making 2 to 3 songs per day. What's your work schedule like? How many songs a week are you guys making? Because Lost and Found it was like a full length album right after Annihilation. I
Yeah.
was really impressed with how much you guys could put out quality
I
too.
would say Monumental. It was one of the last official Layzie Bones and Johnny P from Chicago, Do or Die collaborations, man. Like, and that's what we got to pay attention to, man. Pay attention to the message, man. You know what I'm saying?
I've been seeing It's Crazy Life ask a few times. He wanted us to ask you about the formulation, that this is your latest album, and what's your favorite track off of the formulation?
Ooh, now y'all asking some questions. Hello. Y'all asking some questions. Okay. Formulation. Hold on. Yeah, my favorite. One of my favorites is Exposed.
Mm.
That's H just warming up. I'll spit that right quick. Ooh. But Exposed, yeah, that's hard.
Also, we were talking Pain earlier. There's a bunch of people in the comments. Everybody's saying like that Pain is their favorite track on the album, or Pain is fire. So, lots of love for Pain being shown in the comments from Eyes on the Prize.
Pain was a deep song though. But back to the Humble Child HC, man, that was for my homie Big Tone and Nut. Just homies, my brother Chris lost his mama. You know what I'm saying? It was just pain. Like, let's go with it. They need to hear it, man. Like, people still going through it.
It was like, what the hell was it in here?
We're losing all our loved ones, man.
Oh, I seen in the comments, Smokey the Bandit asked if we had asked HC you about helping out the kids.
Come on, man. I did that, man. Shout out, man. I need my shirt, man. I was supposed to have my shirt, man, but shout out to HSRA, man. Studio 4. High School for Recording Arts, man. Cross country with them, man. I seen it all before I got with the bone to, be myself and do the HC. But through High School for Recording Arts, man, I traveled, started studio programs for charter high schools. Now we start talking about education, let's sit down and talk some business, you feel me? But other than that, I ain't got time for people, though. But you see, I have all the resources, but I'm outsourcing right now, man. I ain't got time for nobody right now, man. Unless they on point. They work ethic is out the roof. You gotta impress me. Impress me, you got access to me.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because I think about, we had just said the workload, and just the Layzie Bone workload. That's not talking about that you as an artist, you also you have your project. So it's like we talking about you balance Layzie Bone and he be pumping it out like we just said. It's like it's project after project, plus you be pumping out the music, plus you produce for other people, and I think that the part that people may not even like catch, because sometimes the Bone fans are so just in tune with Bone, is that you be producing outside of Bone. In fact, the full circle piece, and I told you we were going to come back to this, is you ended up doing like a little bit with Spice One. You brought up Johnny P, Young Buck, the Outlaws. So it's like the workload is crazy. So to get your attention, and this all circles into the Spit Your Game and shit like that, to get your attention for you to even take the time is insane. Like, I don't know how you have the time.
Hey, I don't even got time for my motherfucking self or my family, bro. It's pathetic.
Hey, I mean, that's how you stay in it. When we talked about how long you've been in it, that's how you stay in it, is that work ethic.
The work ethic the only thing that got my back, man. The work ethic is like a blessing, damn near. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah,
You down on your luck, man, and need that blessing, man. That blessing come through for you, man. So that work ethic come through the same way, bro. You just gotta just work, man, and stay working. That's what I was taught.
we had talked about Annihilation and Lost and Found, and those projects were really close together. One that actually, you know, came out a little bit later, but was also in that span, 2020, Wanted Dead or Alive. And yeah, I was just kind of curious, you know, about a little insight on that project, because that was one of the ones that I didn't see coming, and that may just be my fault. I may have been out of tune, but all of a sudden it was like, oh shit, we got another Layzie Bone project, because they just been hitting.
I could just tell you my favorites, and then you can just take it from however you want to take it. But that motherfucker knocking, can't take that away from it, bro.
Nah.
On the Dead or Alive was like, it's a song on there that fuck them up. My song, that I did the beat for is Insomnia. Me and Layzie, we did the song. We stayed up all night. I got insomnia. The whole song is about just us staying up all motherfucking night. The work ethic, bro. They can't fuck with it. But it's like a 50-50 with the fans, and that's what I want. You feel me? You can't like everything, but I got something for you to like, though.
Oh yeah. Nah, you do a great, you know, we had talked about Raiden, and of course, like, Raiden gets a lot of props right now. Like, he's connected so well with Flesh, and he's balanced the new with the old, and given the fans. Blaze got a lot of like respect like that for doing that with Busy, and you also fall into that category of the same thing. It's like, it don't matter how you say it, right? You could say Blaze is to Busy what HC is to Layzie, or Raiden is to Flesh what HC is to Layzie. So it's like, it's crazy that there's so many of y'all talented like that like get it. And it's more than just making beats. When you got disconnected before you got back, I said the thing that makes you different is there's a lot of people that can just drop instruments and make a beat, but you understand the music piece of it. And that's a gift. Can you kind of just like talk about like that piece, because you seem to understand something that not everybody that make beats understands.
Man, I hear a lot of interviews. They be like, man, Dre, you know what I'm saying? And I give all props to Dre. I know them songs too. I ain't never met Dre, so imagine if the H get with Dre. Come on, man. We gonna be taking this shit to the next level. You feel me?
Yeah. Do you ever think about that? Like, you know, like if you hooked up with a certain artist, like making a beat that would like accompany them the same way, like you've done such a good job making beats that accompany like Layzie so well. It's like it feels second nature when you're out there producing. So when you think about that scenario, like you feel like you be able to step in and do that easily, just like match whoever's sound and make it your own, but still make it theirs.
I like artists that come with their own sound, though. You feel me? Like, do your thing.
Yeah.
Let me hear what you got first. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I start throwing bars all in your song, ask the homies, man. I want some publishing, bros. Shit. My numbers ain't cheap because I ain't come here to be rapping on your tracks and stuff. So that might end up being my song if I gotta keep throwing you bars and shit.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know, something that I wanted to make sure we touched on before the end of the interview, because it was something I wanted to bring up earlier, but we kind of got in emotion, and I think it's important for us to talk about, because I always think it's crazy when I hear you talk about this. You know, we talked about how you've worked Do or Die, Outlaws, obviously Bone, but one that sticks out every time I hear it, legendary George Clinton. And when I hear you speak about that, I'm like, that's so wild. And I've just been curious about that connection, how it happened. It's like, bro, you work with some legends, certifiably, right? You got the story on stage with Snoop, all that, and that's beautiful. It's legendary. It's hip hop. But George Clinton's a different story, bro. That's like a different. That's like when we talk Bone MJ, Bone Phil Collins, HC George Clinton. Like that shit just crazy to me.
Hey, courtesy of my OG TC Ellis, man. The man had to deal with Prince, man. He had to deal with Prince, bro. Started the school. He had George up in that motherfucking studio, boss. The homie Big Dog was in there getting a song. George was up in there. So I had access to George because he was there to do a verse or a hook or something for somebody. And I had access to him. He was waiting for the motherfucker to come pick him up or something. I remember I had got like an hour of George just in there just talking shit, just kicking that motherfucking P-Funk. Got pulled them motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
George was up and that motherfucker just kicking that P-Funk, bro. Matter of fact, I was just pulling up beats and I was making George freestyle to the beats.
That's crazy. Yeah, man.
Hey, that was some crazy shit up.
You think about the full circle, right? Because a big moment you talk about is, you know, the Snoop Dogg compilation, getting on that, him pulling you on stage. Like that's a big moment for HC. But HC also worked with George Clinton, and you know what an impact George Clinton has on Snoop Dogg. So it's like the big like circle of just like that whole thing that is so wild to me, man. Like again, it's impressive no matter what. For you to say, hey, I work with Bone, I've worked with Snoop, I've worked with the Outlaws, it's very impressive, especially as a hip-hop producer. But when I hear George Clinton, I'm like, bro, that list isn't for everybody, and it's even less, you know, for a certain age group. So that's like a beautiful story that you got there, man. That's very unique. Speaking of unique, I see somebody in the comments just said that HC is the Layzie what Unique was the Bone in the 90s. Crazy compliment.
Man, there's no thug in this bitch, man.
That's a crazy compliment right there. And I agree, man. Like again, we talk about the Raidens, the Blazes, the HCs. It's like, you know, we're all very fortunate to have y'all working with them right now and continuing the sound that we love for 30 years.
Hey, the reason I fuck with it, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know y'all be cracking jokes. Oh, nigga, that's H Bone. Man, cause I fuck with good music, as y'all know, nigga. From legit, nigga, I fuck with good music. I'm a musician, and shit, I had the production, so shit, I couldn't let my nigga Layzie be out here fucked up, nigga, fucking with labels and shit, nigga. When we can do this shit independently, and that's what it boiled down to. Talking some business.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know, we've covered so much in here, and there's still so much to cover. It's like I'm gonna have to pull you around again, because we could talk hours on just one project. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and there's so many. Like we didn't even touch on Thug Twins. You know what I mean? We didn't even touch on the Too Easy mixtape. Like the discography is wild.
Hold on before we get about this thing. The Too Easy mixtape. See, that's like H telling L Burner, man, like we still dipping and dabbing with the industry and keeping y'all up to date and on some current stuff. That's what the Too Easy mixtape was, just all new songs. L Burner killing new shit.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's dope. Like that shit felt like, you know, that felt like Bone. You know what I appreciate as well is that you've been bringing like the sound, helping bring that sound, and the visuals match that. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is nothing worse than when you see something and you think it's gonna be a banger and it feels like, yo, we about to get some Bone shit, and then it's like it ain't hitting. But it's like you look at that Too Easy cover and you like, oh, yo, I can't wait to listen to this. And then when you dig into it, it's like this all makes sense, boy. This all makes sense. Like it's all of it. It's the visual, it's the audio, it's it's the whole thing. And the videos, I gotta say too, because we didn't really talk enough about the videos, right? It's like you've been very blessed to be a part of some amazing videos. Whether it's the Eyes on the Prize project, it's like the videos have been top notch as well. You got one that stands out? You got like a favorite that you're a part of that you're like, that's the one?
Hell yeah, the one I almost lost my life in.
What you mean? Back up. Don't tell me more.
Them niggas put me in a helicopter. I don't fuck with no helicopters, man.
Yeah.
That was all on it. We was in a helicopter though. Homie went all the way up there, came around, missed his turn, had to hit it again. I think he might have hit it a third time. I'm like, man, hold on, man. Gotta get me up off this motherfucker. We shot the video, man, all on it, man. They put a couple clips up in there. Yep.
Like I said, we covered a lot, but I know we missed a lot. Before we get up out of here, like, is there anything that you want to make sure that the fans know tonight that we didn't cover that's like super important to the HC The Chemist story?
And that's crazy because I had made some notes, but I don't even know if I can get to them. Let me see if I can get to them.
Yeah, it's hard, when you're in my position and you building a interview around somebody that's got such a vast, not just time, but the amount of material. It's one thing to be around for a long time, but to pump up the amount of material, it's like you gotta pick and choose and make sure you hit the right questions, bro. Because it's like it's really hard to interview somebody like you that's got so many things like on the plate to talk about.
We gonna get it in though, but check this one out though. That we do that y'all was talking about earlier.
Yeah, with duct tape. Yeah.
I made that beat, and that beat's really killing a whole bunch of beats, and that's why we got Cray Jack on that bitch.
Yeah, that thing hits. That all goes back to, I told you, your beats kind of hit different. You know what I mean? Like they really they fucking hit. You put that on in the car, and that thing's banging.
But then one day I had heard it and I was pissed, like, damn, I could have made that motherfucker way better. And that's where I stay motivated at, because like I always gotta feel like I do better, because when I get around people, they do music and it just make me a better artist. You feel me? Better, you know what I'm saying? Better producer. Now, if I gotta be a producer and come out, I'm chopping everything down, but man, I'm a producer and an artist. Like we said, I come from TNOS.
Does that ever happen to you where you like, you'll produce, the project comes out, and then you like hear it after and you're like, damn, I wish I would have done this, and this, or like,
I'm gonna tell you when it stopped. It probably stopped like a year or two ago, boss. I was like, man, like everything, you know what I'm saying, I was putting out, it was just like, it wasn't it for me. Like I'm better than this. Then like shit just kicked in. I probably was before that, but that's just how much I'll be on myself. That it felt like it was a year or two ago that I was feeling like that. So I gotta stay working. It came.
Hey, the helicopter, was it that yellow helicopter in the video?
Come on, man. I don't play with my motherfucking life, man. I got me caught up in a helicopter, man. But,
hey, that's they had you go in there. Did they have a real pilot at least?
They did. It was Dr. Dre's cousin. Yeah, he was the owner of the motherfucking company.
Yo, get the fuck out of here. That's crazy.
Hey, this video, I hadn't seen this one, man. This is a good looking video, man. And this helicopter's a trip. Just knowing, like now, if anybody hasn't seen All On It video, yeah, just know poor HC was hanging on for his life in the yellow helicopter.
I assume that was a stuntman, HC. I'm not gonna lie. But one thing that we haven't even touched on, I don't think, is performing live. I've actually seen you live a bunch of times. It's been a while, and I can't imagine what it's like to be up there with all the other affiliates. And I always really appreciated your energy. Was there one particular song or maybe like one particular affiliate that you either look forward to seeing every night or that you like to perform with?
Hey, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all though. Like I ended up performing with the homies. Like I did songs with Duct Tape Gang, and I was doing songs with Duct Tape Gang out there. And like the question y'all asked me though, I fuck with my nigga Rocky Rock music, nigga, as far as live music. I fuck with his music. Like yeah, Mafia and them music, Get Addicted Mafia. It's a lot of people, man. Nova the Rebel. I fuck with everybody music. Kane.
Yeah, shout out to Kane, man. Kane like a
Kane's really good live.
Kane like a OG now, baby. I remember when he was a new affiliate, and now he's like an OG goat.
Man, Kane had put me up on the DJ Paul show, man. Shouts out to my dog Kane, man.
Yeah, Kane's a real one. He, you know what I like about Kane is I always said that, you know, Kane, he wasn't, and this is when he first, you know, came on. I was like, you know, Kane isn't worried about riding the Bone meal ticket. He was building the Kane brand, like he was building his merch. He was doing his thing. He was just affiliated, but he wasn't there to just like, you know, eat at the table and not be in the kitchen. Like Kane put in work from the beginning. Like I'm gonna build the Kane brand affiliated with Bone. And I think that's big too. I think that's the difference between someone like you and Kane versus, you know, other people that we've seen kind of come and go is you can only depend on the people around you to do so much for you before you kind of got to learn something and do it yourself. We've heard like 50 Cent talk about like the guys in G Unit like that. Like there was only so long that I could hold their hands before they had to kind of do it themselves. And I think that's the difference is the guys like you or Kane that, you know, or even Rock that are like investing in and making their brand strong as well.
Man, you just gotta know how to keep it player and be honest, man. Just keep that shit real. That's why we made that song. I stay real till the day that I die. Keep it real till the day that I die. They was fucking with that song too. And that was a song that had shocked me. I'm like, damn, the Bone fans fucking with this? Motherfucker. I think that motherfucker damn near about to hit about 100,000. I said, damn, they fucking with this song.
Is that always kind of like a shocker to you? Is like, do you ever like, we gonna put this out, I know they gonna feel it, and the reception's not like what you thought, and then other times you put some shit out like the Bone fans may not feel this and they love it, like, because we a crazy bunch to deal with. This isn't a normal fan base. You got 30-year like crazy fucking fans, you know, and I think that's always like cool to hear the perspective of the fan base as well, because this isn't your regular fan base, bro. To have 30-year fans that still fuck with it, that still support it, that buy CDs. You realize like the CDs, everything's digital now, but Bone fans are like, give me that physical CD. It's got to go in the collection. Like it's unique. So it's like, how's it been like adjusting to this fan base and kind of like navigating through it?
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I just do music with the homies that I fuck with on the road. Shit, my niggas. I go out to Cali, do music with my niggas, shoot videos with my niggas. The affiliates, like my nigga Locomotion, nigga me and Rock, Position.
Shout out
We just
Position.
stay work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Gato. Come on, man. We out here working.
Yeah, man. A lot of work gets put in. Like I said, there's so many things to cover.
My nigga Sloan Bone stay busting his moves back and forth.
Yeah, Sloan a OG too, man. He been that Mo Thug shit.
Hey, so I'm seeing on your channel here, you got a track. It's Layzie, Wiz Khalifa, Juicy J, and HC The Chemist. Why Do I Stay High? Is that a remix or is that like a real track that you guys all did?
There's some underground remix shit that I like to do. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
That's
yeah.
dope.
No, to be honest though, Burner had jumped on that shit and he had left my verse on there, bro. And one time during the Eyes on the Prize, man, I had off the Pain joint, I had sent them a mix and I had 2 verses on there, y'all know. But I had cut one of my verses off and I sent them the mix because I felt like, man, the song too long. And I had sent to the nigga like that. Man, that fool had hit me back and was like man, man, where the other verse go? That nigga was damn near mad. I had cut the verse. And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. I cut the verse off a nigga, man. That was messed up. Man.
Cecil, are we able to play any HC tracks?
How many artists y'all know out there that gets to get 2 verses and Layzie Bone get 1 verse in the middle?
I know.
Only HC Eyes on the Prize, bro.
I was noticing that. Yeah. No, I was like, wow, okay, he's got 2 verses, Layzie's got 1. That was, man. Because on the Bone Brothers, Layzie always did 2 and Busy did 1. And I noticed you had 2 to Layzie's 1. So that is dope.
But I'm gonna keep it real though. This is what Eyes on the Prize is too. Niggas is moving like this when it come down to the music. And if you walked in the studio and said some shit on the mic, and I'm right there, and I said some other shit, and then be like, damn, that shit cold like that. Mm-hmm. That's what Eyes on the Prize is like a collaboration. You feel me? Like, Eyes on the Prize is the same thing as the Spit Your Game contest. It's just the art of the music, hip hop, the love for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is HC, this is Layzie Bone, this is right here in your face, man. Eyes on the Prize. Y'all want Bone Thugs? This is Layzie Bone. This is HC The Chemist, man. This is what we do. So if y'all talking about music, then y'all got to really be coming with it. Ain't no other way around that.
Sounds like we're gonna get Eyes on the Prize too. Sometimes I see people talking about like a trilogy with it. We talked about Welcome to the House. Like, there's so many things. Like what's next, man? Like, what are we gonna see from you in the immediate future that we can look forward to?
Man, they saying they want the HC solo album, bro.
Let's go.
All my life, I had all the artists in the world to stay away from being a solo artist. You feel me? I played the producer, engineer, just not to be the nigga that had to be on the stage to do it. But the people that did it had ended up dying, and that's where I had started rapping for. So I'm rapping for other people that done passed away. That's how real this shit is, man.
I see Cold Blooded in the chat, who's a MC. He says, I would love to work with HC on my next project. I need him to answer my DMs. Cold Blooded, we'll get you connected with HC, man. He's down to work. He talked about it at the beginning of the interview, so we'll make sure to get you connected and see if y'all can make something happen. He worked with It's a Crazy Life as well, so he's a man of the people.
It's hard, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's been beautiful to have you on. We covered a lot, but we didn't cover enough. We're gonna have to do a part 2 because you just said the solo thing, and I actually I'm curious, because like you said, you've done a lot of production, you've done a lot of features, group efforts like you and Layzie. It's like when you think about a solo project, right? Is that something that you want for you, or is that something you do more to just fulfill the HC fans, or would you like to get a new solo project out there, something that's all you? And a second question to go with that is, if you want to do that, would you fully produce it, or would you look to work with some producers to produce around you?
I would have to produce with the producers around me, because it's like if I end up doing a solo album, that means that's all coming from pain. That means I'm not supposed to be the person rapping. I'm supposed to be the producer, producing everybody else. it leads to me being a rapper. I mean, that is coming from none but a whole bunch of pain. And that's when songs about like pain and the one with Lil Chico, Mama worked her fingers down to the bone, 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 bone. Yeah. Come on, man. The struggle. Whew.
Lil Chico, man. R.I.P. Lil Chico. HC, man. I want to thank you for coming on, being a guest. I know what a busy guy you are. We've talked about it, the workload, the work ethic for you to be able to take any time out of your evening to come on and deal with us. We're truly appreciative. Tell everybody, like Cold Blooded and the people that want to work with you, how they find you, where they can find you, how they can get connected with HC the Chemist.
Man, they can hit your motherfucking line and hit me. No, I'm just playing.
You hit me, I'll filter y'all through. I'll filter through the real ones and the ones that are just some bullshit. Y'all let me know. I'll get the real ones through the HC.
So imagine a whole flood of motherfuckers that's real, but then a whole flood of motherfuckers that's fake.
Yeah.
That just got sent to me, and I just gotta have my management over here ready to quit on me or something. And we have that type of stuff happening, man. People gotta be official, man. We handle business.
Well, I can validate for Cold Blooded, man. That's a guy that puts the work in. He puts the budget in. He tries to make a beautiful project, and he's worked with other affiliates as well. So we definitely want to get you in touch with Cold Blooded. I know he's down to work, so we'll make it happen.
It's HC Mo Thugs. The new website about to be dropped. I have my website under construction for a second, so I can't really tell y'all where to find me at, but just Google HC The Chemist. Y'all can check out the work ethic. Hit me on Instagram.
Yeah, y'all can find him on Instagram, HC The Chemist 2.0. 2.0. On the IG, you can find him on just HC The Chemist on Facebook. You know, you can reach out and touch this man. He's a man of the people. Spit Your Game is still on Instagram. So there's plenty of opportunity out there for y'all. HC, I want to thank you for coming on. I need y'all to fill this chat up for HC with them Mo Thugs fist. Give him those chemistry icons up in here. Let's fill that screen up. Yo, HC, let's make sure that we stay in touch. Let's get a part 2 where we chop it up about we missed so much, bro.
It's only part 1, y'all.
Yeah.
We get y'all soon.
Yeah, we gotta really.
They gave me the pass, so this only part 1. We got part 2, part 3. By the time y'all get to part 3, this shit gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna be showing y'all some shit.
That's what. Hey, you know what we should do on the next one? We should actually, and I'm about to do this with some other guests, so we should do it with you, which is we should just listen to a few tracks and dig into the specifics about those tracks.
Man, come on, let's do that ASAP. So
I love that. Hey, you know I'll be in touch with you soon, and we'll put something together because I love the idea of that. I think that's some next level shit for the fans.
Hey, that's easy. All it takes is just get it done. So all you gotta do is just hit me, start it, and then it'll be done just like that because they're gonna pay attention.
I got you. We're with it. One more time, HC, I want to thank you for being the guest tonight, Beyond the Harmony, and going with us. Y'all make sure you fill that chat up with that Mo Thug love. Show HC that y'all appreciate him being here. We going to bring him back really soon, y'all.
And it's only part 1, man. Be prepared. Straight up. Part 2.
Hell yeah.
Real soon.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, brother. I hope you have a great rest of your night, bro.
Doses.
Boom. Chew. Here we go. All right, let me make sure I got him off the spotlight. Hey, Matt, just talk real quick so I can make sure it's switching.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Okay. Listen, we here.
You covered, like, I don't think we really justified how much you really covered and how many years he's been around. That was a massive amount of information, like, spread out over, like, Unify, really, since like a little bit before Unify, maybe.
Yeah, man. It's a it's a lot, bro. It's and it's like I said to him, it's like and even with that, we ain't cover. There's so much shit. Like when I tell you that I still have shit on my question sheet that we just, you know, we couldn't get to, or we'd be here like it was the marathon, why we need a part 2. I mean, we didn't talk about, you know, Thug Twins, the videos. I love the idea of having him come in and us actually listening to some fucking songs and kind of getting that take, because, you know, I think that's a new spin for us. And it's like, you can ask a guy like HC, or even like a Thin C, a Raiden Rush, a Blade. You can ask them about this shit all you want, but it's different when they get to hear it and talk you through it. So I really think we should do that, man. I think he would really be in his bag if we did that kind of show.
Majorly, I think. Another major thing that I wanted to really hit on, he's kind of in an elite group now, because I feel like, so if you started out, let's say Bone Brothers, and then what was the one with Crazy Bone, and didn't he do one?
Thug Brothers. Thug Brothers
Thank
2.
you. Yes. Thug Brothers, like, and then Thug Twins. So it's like, obviously HC has it if he's a producer, but he also did a duet with Layzie. You know what I mean? It's like that's a small group. That's a very short list.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Nah, like I said during it, it's like what a amazing time that he came in, and he's really contributed so much. You know what I'm saying? In that amount of time, it's like if you think of his body of work, and even though, you know, we said, oh, 2010, here we are, 2024. It's like, bro, there's people that put out one album every 5 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not regular for people to crank it out the way that he does. And, you know, I think something that we didn't talk about, which is important too, is we talked about how many of those Layzie albums came out. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be inspired as a musician. And it's like, if the inspiration isn't there, you're just not going to want to sit there and just record all this music. Like, you got to be fucking inspired. And it says a lot that he's able to bring so much heat to the table that you know, Lay stays so fucking inspired that it's almost like natural for them, breathing air, to pump these tracks out, because, you know, it is his production is different. If y'all haven't really like just like listened to the tracks and you know, keyed in specifically to the actual production piece to appreciate it, it is really crazy, man.
Absolutely. I mean, that was, and you know, the comments show like everybody's vouching for AC, just saying how much he's done. And it's
the comments are beautiful, bro. You see these comments, like HC is one of the, Born in the Dark says HC is one of the pillars in Minnesota, from St. Paul to Minneapolis. He taught hundreds of kids most of the good art and engineering in Minnesota. Like, bro, he, you know, it's like, and you know what's dope about him? He wasn't on here bragging that kind of stuff up. You know, we brought it up to him, and he's just like, yeah, you know, he almost just acted like, what you mean? Like, that's just part of it. Like, you know, you ain't got to big me up for that. That's what you're supposed to do. So other people are giving him these props. He's not on here like, oh, you know, I help all these kids. You know what I'm saying? He's humble as fuck.
You know, Layzie's his discography since 2019 has been solid. You know, starting with Annihilation, which HC had a hand in, and this is not to say all the stuff before that, but I'm just saying it seemed like, you know, around the same time that
well, in like before that
dropped,
too, like that Number One Assassin mixtape, like I was fucking with that too.
Yeah. My brain is kind of like, so did Number One Assassin drop before or after Annihilation? Because I just remember feeling like they were so close together.
I think it was before, but you know, I start to fuck. There's so much shit gets put out that I start to fuck shit up.
But check this out. So since 2019, and there's a parallel with Busy and Layzie and actually Crazy as well. And I think Flesh, like they're doing a good job making sure to get us at least one album per year. So 2019, Annihilation, 2020, Lost and Found, 2021, Wanted Dead or Alive, 2022, Eyes on the Prize, 2023, Hypnotic Rhythms. Even though that felt like it came out in 2024, but man, that was in December. So Layzie and HC behind the scenes, 5 years in a row, that mixtape as well. But so they dropped 5 straight. Busy Bones dropped 5 straight. Crazy Bone dropped like at least 5 straight. So and Flesh Bone as well. So these guys, like I said, if you got 4 guys dropping one album a year, that means Bone fans are getting one album on average per quarter per year. So each quarter, quarter 1, you're getting Flesh. Quarter 2, you're getting Crazy. Quarter 3, you're getting Busy. Quarter 4, you're getting Layzie. So for the 4 seasons, the 4 Bone members. Maybe that's the real secret why Wish hasn't dropped a solo album. He doesn't want to mess up the rotation. There's only 4 seasons, not 5. So he lets everybody else get it in. But quality music, bro.
You know what was crazy, and I'm not gonna say who, because I don't want to put him on the spot in case this was something that he wanted, but I was talking to somebody in DMs, and he goes, "Yo, wouldn't it be crazy if Wish finally put out a solo?" And like it went big, like he just had a song that went like stupid huge, you know what I'm saying? And it's like all this time, and then he put out this solo, and it just fucking smacked. Like it just had a song that caught on, bro.
Yeah, or even funnier would be if he just dropped like a single track that went #1 on the charts and went bananas, but then never dropped the album. He just blessed the world with this phenomenal single, and then just
that's how I felt about the Somebody Gonna Die, because remember like way back in the day, it's like, we had Art of War and they all had their solos, and I always thought, I was like, man, Get Your Thug On, it smacks, Yeah. And so then when we got Somebody's Gonna Die, and it, obviously that was a feature on somebody else's album, but like the hook bang, I love the way his voice sounded on it. And his verse was fucking dope. So it's like, I can say this, even though it's not like a huge pool to pick from, all the solo Wishbone shit we got is bangers.
2 for 2.
Yep. Actually, I'll one up both of you. Akon, Wishbone duet album.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those are nice. That's a nice like contrast of voices.
Complete opposite. It would be just I Tried Part 2.
Yeah.
Cold Blood said if you listen closely to Strength and Loyalty era, Wish really shines on major production. No, I agree. He does. I mean, he was really great. When you think about it, right? Because I know that he be catching shit for not putting the solo out and this and that. But when you think about Creepin', Eternal, Art of War, I even love his verse on Thug Always from Thug Mentality 99. It's like, bro, I don't know why we don't have a Wishbone solo. You know what I'm saying? Maybe at this point it's just like it's just like detox, like whatever. We talked about it for too long. I can't fuck around and do it. But I'm like, hey, if we actually got one, he's consistent, man. Like I love it. So it would be something.
Let me ask you, when Gemini came out and you heard That's That Bone, did you think like any day now we're gonna get a crazy Wishbone duet album?
Well, bro, there's an interview, okay, and I think they're in like Europe or London, and it's Crazy and Wish, and in it they talking about a Wishbone solo record, and he was like, yeah, it's basically gonna be a solo record, but Crazy's gonna come in and do like a bunch of the hooks and shit like that. And I remember hearing that, and I was like, okay, it's kind of going to be Bone Brother-ish, except it sounds like Crazy's just going to do some of the hooks. Like, we're not, it's going to be all Wishbone verses. And then, obviously, nothing, materialized from that. But when that happened, I really thought that was going to be a fucking thing. And I was like, oh, this is real smart. Like, I like this kind of spin instead of it just being that, it's like, it is a solo album, but it's not, it's like, it's almost like when Master P would like, feature C Murder all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or Silk. It's like, yeah, it's a solo album, but you know, he got the gang on anyway.
Yeah, no, they blended. Well, the one track we got, that's that bone.
I love that fucking song.
They played off each other so good on that. And as I said, I thought that would be the next. I thought that they heard that and thought, all right, we could do something with this. And they did kind of. They toured Australia together. So, you know, at least that came out of it.
Crazy Life says he's got a track with Snoop and HC if you want to premiere it. I would love to do that. I don't want to get a copyright strike on my shit. You remember what we went through last time, Crazy, when I had you on the show? We had to do a lot of work around.
Well, I think he was saying not for the live, but for
yeah, of course,
like on a side thing.
Come on, Crazy. This is basically your platform too, bro. You premiere whatever the fuck you want on here, bro. You know what it is. I just want to let everybody know, I like to give us a little time. I went ahead, if you look at the top of the screen, I've gone ahead, I put the meeting ID and the passcode up. We're not going to take a bunch of calls tonight because I'm telling you, I went hard on that interview. That y'all don't know how like exhausted I am after an interview. It really takes it out of me, but I always like to hear from y'all, so we'll kick it on here for a few minutes. We on Zoom right now. The meeting ID is 733-570-6161. Your passcode is East 1999. Y'all make sure if you want to come through. We're gonna leave it open for a couple minutes.
Yep. Also, just checking to see how everybody's feeling about seeing all these shorts every morning. Like I've been trying to drop, some like features, tracks that featured Bone members that may have, fallen out of sight or out of mind since it wasn't credited to Bone Thugs and Harmony or directly to Crazy or Layzie or Busy or Flesh. So hope you guys been enjoying those. I've been enjoying like finding them and making them and just thinking about like, oh man, I hope people are like, oh man, I forgot about this song. Or like, oh yeah, man, I like this one, but I haven't seen it in a minute. So just putting those ones out there. Also, beyondtheharmony.com now points to our link tree. So if you needed to find any of our socials or any of our links, you could always go to beyondtheharmony.com and everything is linked up on there, including an Amazon store. So there's an Amazon store with a bunch of like Bone products that we get like a small commission for. If you guys are looking for some cool attire, there's actually some neat like Eternal and Art of War shirts and jackets that I hadn't really seen. And so check that out. There's CDs as well, mugs, cell phone cases, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, and the link tree has all of our links. So if you need that TikTok link, it's on there. If you need the Twitter link, since it's not Beyond the Harmony, it's on there. And obviously Twitter is also called X now. So yeah, there's that. So check out our link tree at beyondtheharmony.com.
I forget.
The link tree looks really good.
Thanks, man. I tried to make it feel like Beyond the Harmony, but all simple. Yeah. I forget to check the Facebook stream because I forget that we doing that kind of shit. Will McAllister said, I think the host did a great job. Thank you very much, man. I always appreciate when people appreciate the work that I'm putting in and trying to have a great show. So I see it looks like we got Chris calling in. Before I bring Chris in, I'm gonna drop on him next week. I've been waiting to tell motherfuckers what's gonna happen, and I almost let it out the bag earlier, but I'm gonna tell y'all now. We're doing something brand new. Y'all may remember when we did Hypnotic Rhythms listening party, I said, this is us testing something that's going to come in the future. And I hope it goes well, because if it does, we're going to do it. And Hypnotic Rhythms went so good that next week, we bringing on Archie Blaine and we bringing on Jazz. And we going to listen to a new breed of female with them. And we going to go through it a track at a time and just talk about the tracks and the stories and everything. So it's like an interview, but it's like a listening party, and it's an interview just around the album, because we've had Jazz on, we've heard Jazz's story, we had Archie on, we heard Archie's story, we've been there. But just like we just talked about with HC it's like there's so much that you can do just listening to the tracks. And this is something that the guys behind the scene know, that I've tried to pull this together a few different times with a few different people. And I brought it up to Archie a few years ago. And here we are, man. It is coming to life. Archie and Jazz next week. A new breed of female listening party with live commentary from Archie and Jazz. I'm hoping that we barely talk. I hope you don't hear me, John, or Matt for shit. I hope it becomes the Archie and Jazz show.
Same. This is pretty since like season 2 or 3.
Oh yeah.
So this was a long time coming, and we're thrilled that Archie and Jazz are making one of our dreams come true. By imagine we're gonna be doing a live listening party with both Thug MVP Hall of Famers, bro. So it's gonna be exciting next week. It's groundbreaking, first time on Beyond the Harmony. Yeah,
it's insane. It's and I would venture to say, when I was on the other side, that I remember you guys talking about having like a Mo Thug on or something, somebody come on and review their work or talk or revisit. Let's call it revisit, right? And man, full circle, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, and is anyone else? Here's something. Is anyone else doing anything like this? Not Bone, just in general.
Like in general, I don't know, man. I don't know, but you know, there's just something about it that is like so appealing, because it's like a different version of the interview. Like, we all love the interviews, but we all love the music, and we love the interviews because we get some insight on the music. But as you can see with the HC thing, it's like you could talk about so much, and there's still fucking 2-3 parts to talk about. So it's like when we isolate it to, all right, let's talk about this. You know what I mean? Let's dive into this. You know, we don't have to hear how you started. We don't have to hear about the side things. Let's just talk about this body of work and how this was delivered. And we touch on a little bit. I see Cold Blooded saying, hey, I need to hear about that Flesh verse. In Jazz's interview and Archie's interview, they both talk about it. But like, it's skimmed over. You know what I mean? Because it's just a question among questions. But next week, we're going to actually listen to that track. And then they're gonna dig in. So I'm so fucking excited. I've been working hard. Even the overlay next week is different. You know what I'm saying? We made it look very too true. I'm really pumped. I see It's a Crazy Life. He says he's in here. Let's bring him in. I couldn't think of anybody better to bring in than our man Crazy. He's like beyond the Harmony, like family right there. All right. It looks like he's trying to get in. Crazy. If you see this, you got to turn your video and your sound on, bro. This is something I want with Unique. Yeah, all right, Therese. It's something we want with Unique too, boy. let him know. Message DJ Unique. Let him know. You imagine trying to do that shit with DJ Unique? Fucking A.
I'll DM Tim right now and say that Skeleton Melody set is calling him out. Wants to do it. Wants to do a live album review on something he did 30 years ago.
Yo, you couldn't even. Unique's body of work is so crazy that it's like, yo, where do you even start? How do you even? Just imagine saying, all right, Unique, we gonna listen to Eternal, a track at a time, and we want to hear about it. We'd be 3 tracks in, and I'd be like. Yeah, 3 tracks in, and I'd be like, all right, yeah. Check out part 2 real soon.
Yeah, you know that when that 2 True dropped, that was, I think it was like the first Mo Thug artist that dropped, and it was kind of like a neat moment getting it, popping that in, hearing it. I think Trey was like on the intro, and then just seeing Flesh was on it, and Crazy.
I can't remember. Did they say it was Trey? I think it was someone else. I don't remember. Dude,
it wasn't Trey. Okay,
I don't remember. We do so many interviews, and we hear so many things that it is crazy. And I want to say that too is next week we doing the 2 True special. We're going to take 2 weeks off after that. So 2 True next week, then we get a 2-week hiatus. We're still going to do some things in there. We got some behind the scenes recording we got to do, and I'll probably do a special live, but we're going to take 2 weeks off from the actual official show. When we return, so let's see, that would be the 15th. When we return on the 15th, not only will that be the 50th official episode, it lands on the 6-year anniversary. That's why we're taking the 2-week break. So the 6-year anniversary and the 50th episode will land at the same time. I'm really excited. That show gives me the vibes of, when we usually do a season finale. The season finale is probably going to be a little different this year because, the 50th episode is kind of going to take its place. That's going to be just for the fans. I hope y'all plan on calling in because the whole night's going to be for y'all. We want to talk beyond the Harmony. We always talk about Bone, but here we are, 6 years, 50 official episodes. Who the fuck knows how many, side content, over 600 videos. So we really want to talk beyond the Harmony. We're all going to talk about it, our favorite moments, our favorite interviews, all of that. And we want y'all to be a part of it as well. I see him saying it's the host, but I'm telling you, I'm clicking for you to unmute, Crazy. It's on your side, big boy.
Do we have any host controls on our side?
Yeah. I'll be clicking. Ask to unmute. Ask to start your video. That's all I can do. I only got so much control.
Hey, just in context while he's trying to get in, when that 2 True album dropped, that was right before Master P started dropping albums every week at Target. And we live through it now, but at the time period, I just remember thinking, man, so Bone just dropped their album. Now 2 Trues dropped their album. There's also Mo Thug albums. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, this would be amazing if we could get, albums once a quarter. Hey, we do now. It just took 20 years to get there, but they seem to have the business plan down now. So, okay. So Crazy said, it says host is not allowing participants to unmute themselves when I click unmute.
Bullshit. HC The Chemist did it. Bullshit.
It is kind of weird. So I don't know if Crazy tried dropping and then I'm trying, fellas. I'm trying. I don't know if you disconnected and reconnected, but try that.
Yeah.
Corey's back.
Get the fuck out and come back, man. The fuck.
Yeah. In the meantime, John, when you were on your journey this week or last week with the shorts, there was 1 or 2 that I forgot existed, but I know whether I finished the song or not, I knew it existed once, but I had forgotten. Did you find any that you had never seen before or heard before? Or
yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about that.
The one that came out a couple days ago was Layzie Bone and some female artist. I already forgot her name. I'd never seen the video, never heard the video. It's a pretty cool video too.
The pool party.
The pool party, and Layzie's in like this cool red jumpsuit doing some breakdancing in the video. So yeah, I hadn't ever even seen or heard that one. I totally forgot about the Layzie Bone Spice One song, Sidelines. I knew it existed, but when I was like, well, I forgot about this. And I love that. I found them all from that Layzie Bone playlist I made on the channel back in 2018, which at the time was fairly definitive of all the stuff that they made. What's funny is in the last 6 years, they've made almost like double the amount of music videos than they made in their first 20 years. So so that was great. Those 2, and then I've completely forgot about Life. Like that. I seen the video many times. I always cracked up that Michael Jackson was in it, but it's the Tate Small song, and Busy being in it, Layzie being in it. Yeah. Oh, okay, we got him.
There I am. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
There he is.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I want to say good interview tonight, guys. That was great. You guys have been killing it. So
thank you, bro. Thank you very much, man.
Yes,
I appreciate you still rocking with us. For y'all that don't know, Crazy did his own interview in the last interview of last season, right before Raid and Rush, we had an interview with him. We premiered some music. Crazy's constantly putting on for us. He got us that Layzie Bones shout out. It's wild. So we appreciate your affiliation with us, man, and you rocking with us now for so many years. Years now.
Yeah, man, you guys have been giving us all that exclusive info we used to get from those forums and like DNA level C back in the day when we were in middle school. Like, that's crazy. You guys really do work and get people on that the real fans want to hear. So I respect that about y'all. So if anything I could do to help it, you know, I'm a diehard Bone fan at the beginning of it. So I'd love to help out any way I can.
Yeah, man. Nah, you're the man, bro. We appreciate it. What's new? What's new with you since the last official check-in, since the last time you were on?
Yeah, I'm working on a bunch of music, man. Got a lot of features and stuff coming on the next project as well. Glad HC got on here. I want to just say one thing. I saw people in the comments like, don't feel like dude wants to do the interview. You know, it's like, because HC is just like that. If you talk to him every day or on the phone, he's even just like short, simple answers. You know, he doesn't go into elaborate stories. He's like moving, making things happen. You guys touched on that with his whole thing with Layzie Bone and the Annihilation and all those albums, man. Like, he's a good dude, man. And like, he actually looks out for people. Like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the opportunities I have. So I got to send respect to him again. And then I got a bunch of things coming on. One thing is I've been trying to get a HC and Crazy collab project, but right now he can't do it because of contractual obligations with Harmony Howse and stuff. So maybe one day in the future, but he's still here mixing and mastering my stuff and jumping on features. So we got a couple big things coming.
Hell yeah.
So if you guys want to premiere some of those, since he had an interview, I could send you one or two of them, and you know, you guys could put that out just to kind of shine on this interview, get it some more views or whatever it be. But I'm about the people, so I'm not trying to be famous off it. Like I said in my interview, it's just like I love working with great artists, and I'm glad to be able to have those opportunities.
Yeah, man. Well, you know what it is, bro. Anything you ever want to put out through this platform, you know, you're always more than welcome to come over and do that with us, bro. We always like to put some shine on you because we know you do it for us as well. So, you know, whether I don't care if it's got anybody affiliated with Bone or not. You want to put out solo tracks over here, you know the door is always welcome. It's always open for you, bro.
All right, man, and that's what's up. Like, I talked to Layzie at the last show here, and he called me fam, and I was like, yeah, you've been messing with HC for a minute. And he's like, you got that song Gray Skies we did. He's like, how'd it go? And then I started singing it, and he started singing with it. He's like, yeah, man. He's like,
that's dope.
He's like, that's a song. So I was like, damn, man. And that's right when I was like, told him about you guys like premiering his album while he was doing the show with Bone, and then we were at the after party, and he's like, oh, damn. I was like, let me get a little shout out for them. They show you guys nothing but love. So, and I'm still trying, man, still trying to get, you know, that, but it's waiting on him. And I know these guys are busy, but you know, there's a lot of things with managers and stuff that try to hinder things too. So,
yeah, well, and like you said, they just busy as, you know, it's like, expect when you look at Layzie, look at all the interviews he's been doing lately and shit. Like, he's really been all over the place, on top of all the shows, on top of all the music. It's like, again, it all goes back to that workload, right? That workload is crazy. And you've been backstage, even the backstage, you know, is like work. You know what I'm saying? So many people are back there. They, you know, they entertain in the whole fucking time, on stage, off stage.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't stop from the time they get there. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's like, especially the diehard fans, want to talk to them, tell them how they changed their life, you know, and that's like motivational to them. But at the same point, you know, they're human too. We work 9 to 5s or what we do. We get tired too. They got to get tired too, but they got to keep going, man. So got to give respect to that. The work, the hustle, the grind they do. It's definitely inspiring to me.
Yeah. You always, I don't think a lot of people think about that. You know what I mean? Is like, you know, they're people too, right? People just expect 24/7 to them to have this meet and greet attitude. And it's like, Layzie Bone can have a bad day the same fucking way you can. You know, it's just like,
Right.
and I remember one of many times, but the first time, you know, I met Tech Nine. We met the whole Strange crew, and this is way back. Cut Calhoun, Chris Calico's still there. J Rock was actually still over there, and everybody was very overly like inviting. You know what I mean? Awesome. Well, you got to Tech, he was a little like reserved, and you know he was cool, but it almost seemed not the same. And I remember people around just like, oh, you know, what's his attitude? And I was like, man, as a performer, as somebody that kind of knows, I'm like, the guy looks fucking tired. It looks like he'd been touring for fucking 3 months straight, and he's just tired, and he knows in a couple hours he's about to have to go out there and be Tech fucking 9. And I just don't think people think about that as like you dealing with a human being the same way that has trials and tribulations just like you. This is their job. Shit happens at their job the same way it happens at your job. They, you know, it goes back to that Eminem, like I can't even take a piss, you know, and that's real.
Yeah, it is, man. And like, that's the thing too, the expectations people have as fans for them. Like, they don't get how busy they actually are, and that like, it is a business and things have to go to a certain way to be taken care of or put through. So like when deadlines or like when album releases are pushed back, I can understand why. I've seen it even with my album, and I'm nobody compared to these guys. You know what I mean? And I've seen it. Sometimes you got to wait. Things come up. You know, they're human too. They got lives. They got a job that they're doing to entertain us. And it's like, I go to work. I could be grumpy one day. I could be happy the next. You know, when they go out, they got to give the show 100% every time. You know, that's what they're getting paid for, and that's what they do. So if people could just look at that and just see that they might get a little inspiration from that, like day to day. Like, that's how I sit back. Is like, if I ever got that big, I really want to leave my family and tour all the time and be away from home and away from my family. You got to think of the sacrifices they make too.
Hey, I always want to ask, just to have you reflect again on Level Up, featuring Crazy Bone and Young Bleed. The thing that I love most about it is how positive and good vibes that the song has. And I was like, yo, this is this guy's spirit right here. This guy's a good guy. You got any just thoughts and memories on Level Up with Crazy and Young? I know you were talking about Gray Skies, but I'd like to know about Level Up first.
Like, the only reason I always go back to Gray Skies is because before that track, there was Young Bleed, you know, who's on the one with Crazy Bone, Level Up. He actually came to my house personally because he's a good friend of mine through one of my promoter buddies that's been a good friend. And so that's why I made him a part of that track as well. But the first couple of tracks that were recorded for that album was one that we didn't put out. It was me and Young Bleed that's in the vault, and then Gray Skies. And that comes to HC The Chemist asking me if I wanted to work with Johnny P. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. So once we made that happen, we got the track done. So that's probably one of my favorites. But the second would be the Crazy Bone. And that's the whole thing I aimed for with that track, was to be positive and like have like that party feel. Because some of these independent artists that do tracks with Crazy Bone, like that Mimi chick that has that, how does it go? But it's an upbeat, like when it comes on, it like makes you want to feel good. You know what I mean? Like, I have other tracks that I want to do with beats and stuff. I'm actually talking right now with Flesh about doing one. And I don't know if I want to go like that more ruggish kind of like old school Bone, like Raiden can bring with him, that dark gritty stuff, or if I want to do something, because my next album is going to be called Celebration. So, you know, I want to make it like Level Up. So that's what I'm working on. So, but we'll see. But yeah, Level Up was a great song off the album. It was one of my favorites, and I was just blessed. West Nile made that possible with the Crazy Bone thing. So shout out to him always. And HC, like I said, mixed and mastered the whole album except the one track, Tuck Your
Chain. Your audio dropped. You muted yourself temporarily. Okay. Yeah. And it's,
can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah. But I heard most of it, and I wanted to point out too. It looks like you got HC the Chemist on Hip Hop Love with King Crooked, Constantine, and Big Sloan, and then also
Mhm.
on Gray Skies, along with Johnny P, Layzie Bones. So that's crazy. And even Stevie Stone, even though he's not Bone and Thug, he's on 3 tracks on your album. You got Killer
Yeah,
Priest, you got Young Bleed on 2 tracks, along with Young Gage. Was Young Gage was the guy that we had on the
Yeah.
show, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Also
Same
West
young
Nile.
kid. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And Spice One, bro. Street Justice was Spice One, Lazy Bone, Kingpin, Skinny Pimp, MC Mac, Vogue Killers, Lil Flip. I mean, bro, the features that you have on the album is just mind blowing.
Wait for the next one. Thank you, but wait for the next one. This one's gonna be a little bit bigger and hopefully just as good. I hope everyone accepts it like they did this one, man. But I'm trying to just do bigger and stuff, and like that's why I constantly talk. I just talked to Young Bleed before HC went live, and I let him go so I could watch the interview. But I was talking to him about like how should we be, man? Like this day and age is so crazy. You work so hard for 4, 5, 6 months on an album, putting money into it, then you drop it, and it's like the fan base now or the audience is just like, oh, that's cool, on to the next. So I was like, should I take it and not release an album? Should I release a single every month or every 2 weeks, you know, and just like kind of build that? I don't know what would be better. And he says it's a mix of both things. You got to like understand, like you give them they don't have the audience or the mind or attention span anymore, like we did when we used to rush to record stores, get a new album, sit on it for 6 to 8 months before the artist put out another one. They're just like fingertips. Oh, nope. Spotify, what we used to pay for like an album, they got monthly access to everything. So it's just like he told me literally put out this and this, you catch the little buzz, and then give them like an EP or an LP. So I'm like, I got to sit back and think how I want to release the next thing, because we have some big things. Like I said, there's one with Snoop Dogg and HC, and I'm excited about that one. HC didn't produce the track, but he mixed it and mastered it and put a verse on it. So I like to put that one out.
Well, let me throw this into your mind. And I don't have any proof that this is the way to do it, but we tried it once and it seemed to be fairly effective on a low level for just like the Bone community. If you got like a 14-track album and you drop one track either per week or preferably be per week, not per month. Because if it was a 14-track album and you did one per week, that's a 14-week marketing campaign that you're constantly putting yourself at least out there to somebody for 14 straight weeks. What we did was we re-released, not really released, but we put out one K Chill song per week for like 14 straight weeks, which cemented K Chill in everybody's mind. You know, whether you wanted to see him or not, every week you were getting hit with Sunday and Chill, K Chill, K Chill, to the point now where I think everybody knows who K Chill is. Whether or not they're going to listen to that old album from 1992, everybody knows K Chill now. And so, you know, now we're trying to say, hey, this is crazy, not Crazy Bone, but crazy. And you get hit with crazy for 14 weeks with all their features and all that stuff. People get used to seeing your name, seeing your face or your album cover or whatever it is. And that's marketing. That's a long-term plan. You don't have to do it the way I'm saying it. I'm just putting that idea in your mind.
I love it, man. I love it because it's better than just putting an album together, getting a graphic made up for the cover, throwing it on streams, and then there's really no marketed besides the social media. And then, you know, people will see it, you know, but it's like, let's say, like Young Bleed said, your neighbor, everyone's TikTok artist now, your neighbor's TikTok artist. He's a humble dude, you know, so he's not like, I'm better than anyone because of where I've been, but he's like, that's what you're competing with. Everybody and their mom wants to put a video out and stuff, so you have to watch how you do it and you got to be good with it. So I'm open to any suggestions, and I think that's a great idea because, like you said, instead of one album dropping and then it's like there for that day or month or whatever, it's like boom, back to back. Oh damn, he had this, he had HC on this, oh he had Layzie on this, he had Raid and Rush and Crazy Bone on this, something like that, you know what I mean? So I think that's a good advice, man.
Yeah, man. And hey, if we're not slammed with too much content that we're putting out daily, we'll definitely be able to, you know, put a few on our channel. You know, because it's hard keeping daily content daily.
Man, we'll make it happen. Whatever the fuck you want, man. You send me whatever, and we'll make it happen for you, bro.
Yeah, man, I definitely will. And like email me, like I said, and just tell me what's good for you, because like I'm still where I have half the project like done and mixed and mastered, and the other still waiting on features from other people, and then it'll be sent to HC to mix and master. So we're working with that. And that's kind of where HC had told me, it's like, yeah, stop messing around waiting on these people with features. Give the world the crazy I know, the crazy that, you know, your friends, your family, the people around you know. Like, let yourself shine instead of filling it with all these features. And I'm like, I just try to do this and make everybody a part of stuff, man. That's my thing. I don't care to get famous. I want to make good music. You know, I'd like to get paid off it so I don't have to go to work every day. If I was cool to be like, you just got to make an album every 6 months or a year, I'd be cool with that, you know?
But hey, start by making a Denver Broncos positive song. The one I heard this year was after they lost 70-20 to the Dolphins. It's like with some Bronco fan making a hating song on their own team. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
hey, Denver's the worst with that, man. With our team, they love them when they're doing good, and then they're the worst fans. You know what I mean? Like, they're the worst. But, you know, I'm always representing. Like, I don't care. We didn't do this good this year, but yeah, at least we broke a record with that 70 loss when we lost 70. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know. Denver's getting crazy too with like all the people coming in like from out of state. There's so much flooding. It's getting to be big now too, like where it wasn't like that before. So it's a market like that. And that's just like, you know, like I haven't done shows that much like I used to. So maybe that's another thing. There's a different audience here. Get back out there instead of just like relying on the social media platforms to push this.
Something I wanted to ask you before I let you go, because I think I saw this in the comments, or it was either on Facebook or maybe it was in the comments of one of the shows, but was it you that said that Julio may be doing your cover art for your...
Yeah, I actually was emailing him while HC was alive. He wanted me to send some pictures, my idea, what I wanted, and then what my album name is going to be and some ideas. And I was like, I sent him everything I could. And then he wanted some more links to my music so he could like get a feel of it, you know, like what he's going to put. And I told him the concept of the album and then like what I wanted the title to be. And I was like, you pretty much have free reins with it, because I want you to do something cool like that East 1999, that Eazy-E album, like something like that you could tell he did it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but I want to give like homage to that, because that's really when I started messing with hip hop and stuff. So
Let me give you advice that Cecil West gave me 10 years, maybe 15 years ago. He said, always when you're dealing with an actual real artist, be specific with what you want. There's nothing that kills them more than to hear, hey, you know, just throw something together. I don't know if that still holds true, Cecil. Do you want to elaborate on that? Because I know you got pretty mad at me when I just said, "Hey, Cecil, just make it nice."
Yeah. Well, it's and it applies to like when you buy a feature, or even if you don't buy it, even you working it out. Like the thing that sucks the most is when someone's like, "Yeah, do whatever," or here's a beat, I got nothing, just do whatever you feel, or. Fuck that. Like the best thing you can do, especially with like a visual artist, is this is what the fuck I want right here, and give as much direction. Right. And I mean, you're smart, this. I'm just saying this for other people, which is like the more direction you give an artist, the better. Because when I'm sitting here and I'm creating for me or for this show, it's nothing, because I'm passionate. It's something I want to do. I love it. I'm able to. It's nothing. I turn out some of this Beyond the Harmony shit like nothing. But when someone pays me to do their shit, I'm like, yo, your shit isn't my shit. I don't really care about it like that. Right. So it's like you're gonna get a mediocre job unless you give me some direction to really love it. And I think that's what's dope about Julio is you hear him, he's asking, let me get the pictures, let me get more of your let me hear all your fucking songs. That says a lot about him as a visual artist, that he's like, hey, I'm gonna need a bunch of your music to really make this make sense.
Right. See, and on the other side of that, I love it sometimes to just give an artist a beat or you know, something that like maybe someone else put a verse on before I put mine, or like, well, how are you going to go? I'm like, well, I don't care. It's open to interpretation for you, because then what they send to me might be more challenging for me. So it actually challenges me as an artist. So I like that aspect of it too.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. Well, look, Crazy, I want to thank you for tapping in with us tonight, always showing love. We're going to get you back on. You know how to reach me. You can send it to me, beyondtheharmony99@gmail, and that's for everyone. Anytime somebody wants to send something over, beyondtheharmony99@gmail, or you can hit us on any of the platforms, and we'll premiere some of the music. And when it's time to do the promotional run, like, you know, count us as part of the promotional plan, bro. We got you.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate that, fellas. And you guys just keep killing it. And I'm working on trying to get other things going to bring to the show too for you guys. So it's just all politics and waiting on people's responses. But, you know, I'm working too, trying to bring stuff to keep this going for you guys, because I love seeing it.
Oh yeah, bro. Thank you so much, man. I hope you have a good rest of your night, Craig.
You as well. Thank you. Good to see you guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right.
What were you pointing out?
All right, y'all. I see people waiting in the waiting room, but I gotta be real. I'm blown out after that, y'all. Like I really
wait, let me see.
Oh, hold on. We still got. Let me remove. All right, there we go. I'm worked. Just that HC interview, bro. I'm worked over. I gotta fucking call it, you know.
You covered you went the distance. That was a massive amount of information to steer and manage in what, how long was he on? An hour and a half? 90 minutes?
Yeah, man. It's a lot. It's it's a lot, bro, but hey, I'm happy to do it. Nothing really makes me happy the way that when we have a successful interview. And it's crazy. I wasn't reading the chat, but you know, when he just got on, he said people in here, you know, acting like he doesn't even want to be here. See, bro, we deal with so many different personalities, so many different interviews, that it's like not everybody's gonna be that over the top, except like he's a real laid back, cool like dude, but like you notice like he actually wasn't ready to wrap up, you know, and he's like, that's why we got to do more than one part. Like, you know, I just think that his personality is laid back, and like Crazy was just saying, like if you're around him and you know him, that's just his demeanor, bro.
Yeah, and it made me realize too, you know, maybe, you know, we should have modified formats for modified personalities, to work with them better. I think if we had some music playing, although we're going to get hit with copyrights, that might have, got the juices flowing. I know a lot of times if I just hear a track come on, it modifies the mood instantaneously. So, you know, we'll try to figure out different ways for different people to make it the best possible experience. Because I know he had tons to say and his own way to say it. And that part two, maybe we'll find a way to bring that out even better.
Yeah, I think I think if we do that, like, you know, that little bit of different, like it'll be really good for him. You know, like we'll see something different. You saw we would bring something up and he would be like, "Oh, that's a crazy story," like, and he would sprinkle something else in, and so it's like, you know, everybody's different, man. If you guys go back and you listen to the 40 plus fucking interviews that are there or whatever, is varying levels, man. And this was another one. I was very happy and humbled to have him on. We put another one down next week, the Two True Listening Party with Archie and Jazz. If you haven't liked this video on Facebook, if you haven't liked it on YouTube, if you haven't liked it on Twitch, if you're not showing love on Instagram, then what the fuck are you doing, man? Make sure y'all head over to our TikTok. We trying to get 1,000 subs. If you're trying to get your hands on some Beyond the Harmony crypto coin, all you got to do is drop your Phantom wallet. You know what it is. It's season 5. I feel good. My name is Cecil West, rocking with the one and only
Jonathan Lippy, with apologies to our favorite guy, Perez, in the comments. He ain't going to make it in tonight, but we'll get you next week.
We'll get you next week, buddy. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, and I know that the co-hosting, coast to coasting, come up creeper, never sour, always sweeter. Ladies and gentlemen, he's also tired, but his name is
Mr. Exhausted. I am Matthew Weaver.
And like always, it is that time. Feenics Ryzin, take us home.